Several drivers just ran their fastest lap of the day as the track reopens for practice. Joey Logano, his quickest lap, moves into 4th. Jason Leffler now 6th. Scott Speed now 7th, and Brendan Gaughan now 16th. They each just ran their quickest lap today.
Riding along with Stephen Wallace, teammate to Brendan Gaughan. He's currently 22nd. See if he can find some speed in this 66 car. Hey, there's Peyton Sellers, guys. He was able to get his backup car off and get NASCAR inspected right quick, and now he's getting some laps on the racetrack. He had a little incident with the wall, a little bit like Jeffrey Earnhardt early in the practice today.
It's a good job by his team.
Having it ready.
A small team, limited schedule. For them to have a backup car that he can get on the racetrack that quick and at least get him a couple laps, kudos to that bunch.
Won't be a lot of drama to knock out qualifying tomorrow morning, what with Mike Harmon locked safely in the field driving the 07. But the bottom 4, one driver will go home, and the bottom 4 are John West Townley at a 24.26, Casey Atwood at a 41, Curtis Davis at a 41, and Kevin LePage at a 43. Neither Davis nor LePage have put 10 laps up in this practice session. Atwood's run 20, and Townley here, the most, has run 65. And that is the most of all drivers in this session. Best 5 consecutive laps, Joey Logano. In this session, best 10 consecutive laps, Joey Logano.
Good sign for him. We got a fast car, 4th fastest overall, and pretty good on the long run, it looks like.
Kevin Harvick and Brian Vickers and Scott Speed also very good on the sustained runs. Here are the fastest individual laps of the day. On the other side of the break, Steve Burns at the speed stage. And coming up in just a little bit, NASCAR Sprint Cup qualifying right here on Speed.
Working on Carl's signature move was not going well. We threw the 6 guns at him. The Matador. Hey! Ha-ha! Hot potato. Wow! Yeah! The blur. The spray. The wounded unicorn. Nothing was working. Let's try the worm.
Oh, dude.
Then we were eating Subway sandwiches, and that was it.
He's been doing it ever since.
Nothing fuels Carl Edwards like a sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Customized with veggies like black olives and green peppers. The flavor he wants, the fuel he needs.
Subway. Eat fresh.
What's your pit type? Sweaty? Hairy? Sensitive? Introducing the first line of customized protection. New Speed Stick Pro. What's your pit type?
Enterprise Rent-A-Car for my trip looks expensive.
It's not expensive, Mom.
They pick us up. Sounds expensive.
Pickup's free, Mom.
Well, if it's not expensive, why didn't you rent me a bigger car?
Mom.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
What project you working on today?
This.
We can help you with that.
Thanks. I'm just starting out, so I'm kind of on a budget.
We're good with budgets. You'll need one of these, at least. Pit crew,
Okay.
crew chief.
Cool.
Read this. And you'll need an owner. I recommend this one.
What about fans?
What do you say we start with 300,000 and go from there?
Whoa.
Helping people do more than they ever thought possible. That's the power of the Home Depot.
It's the perfect storm of danger and speed. Don't miss the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series in Speed HD. From Dover, tonight, 8 Eastern. NASCAR on Speed. Be there.
Thursday, get hooked with 2 all-new episodes of Wrecked.
Trying to get the truck stabilized.
A series of rollovers forces O'Hare to risk life and limb. Wrecked, Life in the Crash Lane. Thursday beginning at 10 Eastern. Presented in Speed HD.
the perfect time to get an amazing deal on a new Toyota during Toyota's Perfect Timing event. Hurry in today and save.
Hey, come on. The time is right.
Looking for
The latest Turtle Wax breakthrough in car polish is Clear. Crystal Clear Turtle Wax Ice, a clarified synthetic carnauba that performs like no other polish or wax. Ice leaves no white residue on trim or in seams.
I had no residue whatsoever. It was perfect.
Clear and deep, really brings out the shine.
Ice is so advanced, you can use it in the hot sun with outstanding results. Now, your choice is Clear. Crystal Clear Ice from Turtle Wax, world leader through innovation.
Morning, Curtis.
Good morning, Bill.
FYI, we're going to be gone for a while.
Vacation?
Actually, we're going to be downloading a video from my sister-in-law with our DSL, so we'll be in there for the duration.
Well, you should get Comcast. It's fast, and with Power Boost, it's even faster.
Maybe you should take your lectures elsewhere to a convention of people that like lectures.
Comcast high-speed internet with Power Boost makes fast faster.
Sign up for Comcast high-speed internet today and get this amazing offer. 1-800-COMCAST.
Welcome back to the Dover International Speedway. It's time to go qualifying for the Autism Speaks 400. The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series teams here at Dover. See Tony Stewart's car lined up. We're right outside the Monster Mile. You know, folks, the big story obviously has been the change at Hendrick Motorsports. Tony Uri Jr., who is Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s cousin, has been removed from his responsibilities as crew chief effective with this race. That move coming yesterday. He'll be replaced by Brian Weitzel, and a week from now, Lance McGrew will step into that position on an interim basis. Well, a lot has happened today. Down in the garage, Bob Dillner will get us caught up on all of it. Bob.
Well, the drama continues, Steve, surrounding the Earnhardt situation. In fact, Kyle Busch now by his race car about to climb in for qualifying. He had a thing or two to say about Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s situation here this morning. In fact, and I quote, "You got to make the most popular driver in the sport competitive." To be honest with you, besides that, he, and he's referring to Lance McGrew, has his hands full having to deal with what's going on. And if Junior doesn't run well, then he's going to be the problem again. It's never Junior, it's always the crew chief. Very interesting comments by one Kyle Busch here at Dover. Just moments ago in the media center here, this is what Dale Jr. had to say about Kyle's remarks.
That doesn't really surprise me, what Kyle says, but, you know, he's always had a chip on his shoulder for me, so I expect anytime he gets an opportunity to throw a jab in there, he's going to do it, and that's just his personality. So we're working toward trying to figure out how we can make our deal work, and you know that has nothing to do with Kyle. So we'll see how this weekend goes, and then move forward next week.
Steve, you can see Dale Earnhardt Jr. Very sullen during that press conference here. He said he was very disappointed that this move had to be made with Tony Uri Jr. No longer being his crew chief. In fact, he said he didn't want to be part of the decision, and that Tony and Jr., they both told Mr. Hendrick to make the decision himself. He sees it as a new chapter, and basically he summed it up as hope. He's hopeful that this works, but right now he seemed a little bit down. He said this is going to be a lot of pressure on him to perform here with a new crew chief, and it looks like, by all indications, in fact, what Junior said, that Lance McGrew will be the crew chief for the 88 starting next week, and then also through weeks to come, and then they will see how the chemistry builds there. So interesting things. You see Lance McGrew, who is crew chief for Brad Keselowski here at Dover, but a lot of drama, a lot of saga going around Dale Earnhardt Jr. here at Dover and his poor performances during the past few weeks, Steve.
And Bob, what's going to be interesting as well to watch is Hendrick Motorsports is going to throw a lot of resources at that 88 car. Brian Weitzel and Rick Stump will both work on that 88 after this weekend.
Yeah, they definitely will, and they will work in coordination with Lance McGrew. But there's a lot of pressure, and there's some truth with what Kyle said as well, because we know that Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the most popular driver in the sport. As he goes, so do NASCAR goes from time to time. And everybody from the Hendrick organization would like to see Dale Earnhardt Jr. back in victory lane, but I think a lot of pressure is on Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s shoulders right now.
Yeah, Bobby, you know, Kyle Busch certainly entitled to his opinion, but not really sure why it's his business or why he feels compelled to comment on it, but that's his right. Well, it's time to qualify for the Autism Speaks 400. We'll go upstairs to Mike Joy, Darrell Waltrip, and Larry Mack.
Mashing. It's mashed a few cars already here in the practice sessions for NASCAR's top 3 National Touring Series. And now we're set to qualify and run for the Coors Light pole. David Rudiman, quickest in practice. Who do we like?
Well, Rudiman likes this place. He always has. He ran well here in our truck, and he's done pretty well in the Nationwide car as well. So I wouldn't count him out by any means. That was not a lucky lap.
No, he didn't luck into it. That's right.
No, I think he actually laid that lap down fair and square. So he's a favorite, and of course you can't count out Jimmy Johnson, any of the Hendrick cars, Mark Martin. So it'll be fun to watch. Hard to back up your practice time here. Really hard.
Okay. Who do you like, Larry?
Well, I think the way when you look at David Rudiman, the way he's been qualifying all year long, let's face it, he sat on the pole at Texas. I think he is the top contender considering what he ran in practice. But like Darrell said, other than maybe Darlington, which Darlington always picks up in qualifying, but it's so hard to go back and mirror your practice qualifying run. It's a very line-sensitive racetrack, and it's such a fine line, I think, especially with this car, a fine line between overdriving and underdriving that race car, because what you want to do, you want to go out there and just try to get that little bit more, and that's when you step across that line of overdriving.
Well, I like Martin Truex, who always gets up on the wheel for his home racetrack, and his teammate, Juan Pablo Montoya, was very quick in practice, and Ryan Newman, who was the last man to win here from the pole.
Well, the only thing you can do in qualifying is if you overdrive getting in, you screw up your whole lap. But if you get in nice, then you get off nice and fast, and that's how you make a fast lap here. Off early, on quick.
Well, here we go. The Budman, Casey Kane, will be the first driver to tackle the Monster Mile. First week for Richard Petty Motorsports, running the new Dodge engine. Only one top 10 and 10 Dover starts. And does have an outside pole here.
It'd probably just be, it's because we know. But if I didn't know that car had a new engine in it, I'd say, well, that 9 car sounds a little different this weekend.
Yeah.
It's really got that nice, crisp, crackling sound to it.
And he was second quickest in practice. Let's see what his first lap does. 22.99.
I think that's a skosh quick. Was that
he
about what he ran?
Ran a 22.92. Now, I think this will be one of those qualifying sessions, especially with it kind of cloudy and overcast. I think you'll see most of these guys go ahead and start and run their second lap, and I think we'll have to see what the pattern is, whether you run faster or slower.
And that second lap is slower, but only by a couple of thousandths for Casey Kane. Dick Bergman?
Jimmy Johnson has 41 point-paying Sprint Cup wins, and just a moment ago David Rudiman came by and he had just gotten his first, and you spoke with him. What do you say to a guy that's just gotten his first ever?
I congratulated him. It was twofold. One, he went so fast in practice. I wanted to know how fast he was going to go right now, because my lap put us fourth, and it was awesome. Today's going to be a lot of fun in qualifying. This is big boy qualifying today. You're going to have to really dig deep and lay down a lap. So I'm excited for it and look forward to a good lap.
Quality throttle time will matter a lot.
Well, yes, and that from a driver who knows what it's like to spin out on your qualifying lap.
Well, just watch these things go down in the corner, Mike. I mean, you're going down in the corner. Let's see what we enter the corner down here in turn 3. And watch this thing, how it just rock and rolls down into the corner to 180 miles an hour.
Almost 180, 176, 177.
Wow, on a 1 mile track.
And remember, you're trying to turn that bad boy hard left at 180 miles an hour.
Brian Vickers was one of the fastest cars on track in the Coke 600 last week, and right now he'll be second at a 23.13.
Darrell pretty much said it. That's 2 cars that have not backed up what they ran in practice.
It's hard to do here.
Sunday, NASCAR Race Day drives into Dover. Find out if a new crew chief will get Junior back on track. NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. Live Sunday, 11:30 Eastern. NASCAR on speed. Be there.
How's practice?
Coach said I was a leader.
I think you are.
That's what they look for in the military.
His idea?
No, mine. I like being part of a team and the physical challenge. I think I'd be good at it.
It would be. But I've got some questions. I think someone else might too. Mom? Get home early.
Okay, I get it. These 10 sprinkles represent our friends and family. The 10 people we can call whatever network they're on without using our minutes.
That's included, no extra cost.
Then these would be like the 80 million people on Verizon Wireless we can also call?
Yep, also included.
Do you want whipped cream? Save minutes and money with Verizon Wireless. Unlimited calling to 10 out-of-network numbers, even landlines. Plus, get America's largest mobile-to-mobile calling family. And now buy a Samsung Trans for $49.99 and get up to 4 phones free.
So, what'd you think?
I like the car. Now, just show me the Carfax.
I've got something better than Carfax. I have a note from the previous owner. This car runs great. I promise.
Just show me the Carfax.
But it's a promise.
Carfax provides a vehicle history report so you can buy a used car with more confidence. Get it free at thousands of reputable dealers. Just say, show me the Carfax.
David Stremme will be the third driver to qualify. He has 8 nationwide series starts here and 4 in the Sprint Cup series. 23:38.
Yeah, he was 12th in practice. But,
slowed down a couple of tenths.
Yeah, at least a couple of tenths.
Larry, the only way your second lap would be better is if you left pit road saying, okay, I got my air pressure set to run 2 laps. I'm going to get the first lap in decent, and then I'm going to stand on it in the second lap. That would be the only way your second lap could be better. You would have to plan on doing it that way.
Yeah, it's like they're not picking up on lap 2, the 2 that's done it, but they're not slowing down a bunch. It's almost the same lap 1, lap 2.
Matt Yoakum.
And DW, you've said it many times, there's nothing like the steam under the hood. And for Casey Kane, RPM has a new Dodge engine. This week in your car, how do you like the new engine?
Seems good so far. It's definitely nice to get it, nice to be running it. They've done a lot of work, spent a lot of time on it. So I'll find out more tomorrow around other race cars. But by myself, felt really strong today. And our Budweiser Dodge is getting better. You know, we were good at Darlington, good at Charlotte, and now I think we can run good at this weekend. So going out first and qualifying, I think we ran close to the same time. It's pretty good.
Thanks, Casey.
Pretty nice.
Casey Mears on track in the Jack Daniels Chevy. He's been running here since 2003, looking for his first top 15 start. Casey was 21st in practice.
Casey's had a rough week. You know, Richard Childress in general had a rough week at Lowe's Motor Speedway. They went up to VIR to test their road course car, Darrell, and I guess they had a lot of rear brake put in it to help the car turn, and he backed it into the wall up there at VIR testing the other day.
Boy, you hate to wreck a car testing, you know.
At a racetrack, you're not even going to race
at.
Mears third on his first lap with a 23:21.
Slows down about 1/10 and a half on his second lap. So the pattern we're seeing, we've had 3 of the 4 cars run the second lap. Nobody has picked up as we kind of anticipated.
Right. The discipline it takes to be able to say, okay, I'm going to drive to this point before I enter the corner and back off and get my car down and get it set. And then to get it in the middle of the corner or before you get to the middle and hold it wide open up off the corner, that takes a lot of discipline. You overdrive the corner, it makes you late getting back in the gas. That hurts your overall lap time.
Kyle Busch led 173 of the 227 laps last week. That's the 3rd race this year that he led the most laps but did not go to victory lane.
And one thing, he wasn't shy about getting back on that, but woo-hoo.
He lost ground up off the turn.
But I tell you, he was back in the gas so early, he had a lot of exit speed there, which is can happen to you here coming up out of the hole like that right there.
He won the pole here last fall.
Right now he's second quickest. Really a full 10th behind Casey Kane. You know, you talked about the laps he led, Mike. He's doing triple duty here this weekend, but in Cup alone this year, in 12 races, he's led 789 laps. But in all 3 series, he's led over 2,000 laps already in 2009.
Wow. Well, in Cup, he's led 20% of all the laps that have been run. One driver, 20%.
Thursday, get hooked with 2 all-new episodes of Wrecked.
Trying to get the truck stabilized.
A series of rollovers forces O'Hare to risk life and limb. Wrecked, Life in the Crash Lane. Thursday beginning at 10 Eastern. Presented in Speed HD.
Most people avoid extremes. Others can't wait to experience them. Introducing the all-new Ranger XP and Sportsman XP. The most power, the best all-wheel drive, the best suspension. Extreme performance for the most extreme terrain. They're the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicles ever. See the 2009 XPs at your local Polaris dealer or visit PolarisXPEvent.com.
What's your pit type? Sweaty? Hairy? Sensitive? Introducing the first line of customized protection, New Speed Stick Pro. What's your pit type?
Introducing the Golden Corral 7-Day Dinner Cruise, a different dinner theme every night. Friday is our famous fish fry. Saturday is date night for beef lovers, and Sunday is Carver's Table. It's all in our endless buffet, all for around $10. Golden Corral, help yourself to happiness.
Yeah, can I get 99 tacos for 2 cents?
We can't do that.
I'm looking at the sign, and it says 99 tacos for 2 cents.
Dude, it's 2 tacos for 99 cents.
That's even less.
Pick up 2 of Jack's Classic Tacos. They're totally tasty, and at 99 cents, totally affordable.
You weren't really going to eat 99 tacos, were you?
No. Yeah.
NASCAR Sprint Cup qualifying is presented by Subway. Try the tangy new Subway Tuscan Chicken Melt, the newest fresh fit choice. Subway, eat fresh. And brought to you by Polaris, the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicle, now at your local dealer. And by Toyota. For the latest Toyota racing information, visit toyotaracing.com. Toyota, moving forward. Bobby Labonte clocks in 23:31 in the Ask.com. Autism awareness, Ford Fusion.
He slowed down quite a bit from his practice run. Slows down 2/10 on lap 2. I think all they're doing now, what I'm seeing, is wasting tires and fuel on lap 2.
Yeah, and speaking of tires, apparently by this much running on the track, you know, with the Camping World trucks and the nationwide cars and what cup practice we've had, we would start to see some dark color come into the concrete where they're laying down a groove, putting down some rubber. Notice they're not doing that. It's turning into dust. We got a lot of dust from the tires. Black rubber that's just kind of dusting up, not sinking in the track.
And that makes me a little nervous when I think about wear.
Yeah, rightfully so. I think it's we've seen some cording, as they've said down there.
Jimmy Johnson, the Cobalt Tools, Lowe's Chevrolet. And Jimmy in practice was the 3rd quickest Chevy, 5th overall.
Lost a little time down there in turn 1. I think looks a lot better off turn 4 here.
3rd quickest, 23:12.
Now, if you look up when he gets through with his run, maybe we can take a look at that dust that's coming off the tires. And I think it was here last year we saw this, wasn't it? We kept talking about we didn't see a black
It was
groove.
a long time. The track did rubber up eventually, Darrell. It took a long time into the Cup race.
Yeah.
Before we really saw a definitive groove like that. Yep.
23:24, slowed down a little over 1/10 on lap 2.
Jimmy looking for his 10th top 10 start of the year.
See, there's all that's just dust. Normally we see rubber, balls of rubber, but that's just, I mean, you can sweep that off with a broom or blow it off with a jet dryer right now. It's just dusting up. It's not sinking into the racetrack.
Let's check with Matt.
And Kyle Busch chilling out with some NOS. We got some reaction from the guys in the booth on your laps. How would you describe your e-ticket running club?
A little bit freer than what it was here earlier in the day. So loose is fast. So hopefully, it's fast. But, it was about the same as what we ran in practice, maybe just a titch slower. But, it was a balance change. So at least I guess we've made some sort of improvement on getting some balance back in this thing. But overall, the M&M's Toyota's been good. And if we can just make it a little bit more better tomorrow for Sunday, I think we'll be okay.
All right, thanks, King.
Yep.
Greg Biffle is on track in the 3M Ford Fusion. 23:08 for Biffle moves him to second behind Casey Kane.
When the work week ends, the NASCAR action revs up in Dover with the ultimate Friday night house party.
I would drive anything if it was fast.
Don't miss NASCAR Trackside tonight, 7 Eastern. NASCAR on speed. Be there.
Hey, Kevin. Filling up with nitrogen-enriched shell gasoline? It seeks and destroys the engine gunk left by lower quality gasoline.
Yes! Winner!
Everyone wins with new nitrogen-enriched shell gasolines.
Racing fans like to act fast. Book early and get Travelodge's best offer of the year. Book now and save a quick 20%. Get your getaway in gear. Save 20% now at Travelodge.com.
You know how your engine feels. And when it's running clean, you feel it. Which is why Pennzoil Motor Oil doesn't just help prevent sludge. Pennzoil actively cleans out sludge. Cleans out up to 15% of sludge the first time you use it. So make your next oil change a Pennzoil change. And feel the clean. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
At Michelin, each tire goes through a series of rigorous tests, including a thorough hand inspection.
I'm never gonna let you go. Gonna hold you in my arms forever. Gonna try and make up for the times hurt you so.
Michelin, a better way forward. To take advantage of special spring offers from Michelin, visit www.michelinman.com to find a dealer near you.
Whenever you're shopping and earn free stuff every time you deposit your hologram code online at NASCAR.com/hologram.
Marcus Ambrose on track in the RaceSavers.com Toyota, and his first lap is 7th quickest at 23:23.
He's just right there at what he ran in practice, and looks like this second lap will actually be about a 10th slower.
It seems to be the norm, about a 10.
Kurt Busch is always good, especially here at Dover. Last year, his qualifying 2nd and 4th, fast in practice. What do you think? Got a shot at the pole?
I've always thought I had good cars in qualifying. It's just the driver always ends up screwing up the full 400 miles. So the Miller Lite Dodge is good. We made 2 small adjustments to try to just maintain the lap time we ran in practice, because it's always difficult to pick up a lot of speed here. And so if we end up up front, that's good. If we're about 15th, that's the downside to making our adjustments. We'll see what we get.
For many of his fans, June of 2006 is the best ever Kurt Busch story here at Dover. His only truck start, he won the pole, blew a tire in the final practice, crashed the truck, went to a backup, started dead last, won the race. I bet you remember that.
Attaboy. Jeff Burton, whose win here in the fall in 2006 broke a streak of nearly 5 years, and something almost broke just there, didn't it?
The car went really, really way off on him in turns 3 and 4, or 3, getting into 3, and then he almost lost it off the 4. The car not happy at all.
He knew it probably wasn't going to be any better on that second lap. He shuts her down.
No, he knew he couldn't make another lap. This thing gets pretty mean. Gets real bad. Here's off of 4, and you see it. Again, I guess that's the challenge here. Keeping a car straight and tight up off these corners.
And the shame of that is it also killed what would have been his second lap. It's, speed off a bit coming across the line. You don't really start that second lap at full speed.
Well, here you go. See if we can see if this man can back up what he ran in practice. If he can, might be setting in pretty good shape.
Ran a 22.86 in practice earlier today.
He's had 3 Cup races here, and looking for his first top 10 start.
Good there.
Say he's going to get it.
Good there. So forth, that's 2 goods. Sounds good. Back in the gas. That's 3 goods.
He eased her down into turn 3 where he could pick that throttle up early and stay in it.
And an A+.
It's there.
David Rudiman backs into the lead here, 22.96.
Well, that's about a 10th off what he ran in practice, but so far we've not seen anyone run faster than he ran in practice.
Car looks really nice for him. It's not. I haven't seen it sideways yet.
Nope.
It's just nice and smooth.
And bad fast.
Yeah, got that right.
All right, man. Good job.
Isn't it amazing what a win? I don't care under any circumstances how much a win just changes your whole race team.
Well, and plus, Joe, he's a qualifying son of a gun. He won the Truck Series pole here.
Yes, he did.
3 years ago?
Yep.
What's that Ricky Bobby line? I like to go fast.
Hey,
That's David Rudiman.
Look at me, Mom.
Yeah, I'm going fast.
I'm going fast. In this case, I guess if you look at me, Dad, because Buzzy's down there. So there's Ricky.
Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, you mess with me, boys. I'm number 1.
Oh, jeez. Joey Logano made his first Major League NASCAR start here last year in the Nationwide Series at the age of 18 years and 7 days. He finished 6th.
Comes in here 25th in the points. 5 races ago, he was 35th. Now he's only less than 70 points out of the top 20 with his 20 car.
But you see, every one of those cars does. What you hope for when you go out and qualify is your car doesn't do what most of these cars are doing. Right. Snap loose up off the corner. Because you know that's what you got to fight here.
You can see it even wiggle the tail coming up off turn 2, this second lap.
He's trying to get better on lap 2, but the laws of physics are not in his favor.
I think it's where the rubber meets the road, to tell you the truth.
Right. So Logano, 23:25 is the lap of record. Make it a weekend of fun with the family and friends at Michigan International Speedway. Sprint Cup tickets start at $40. Kids 12 and under are free at the June 14th LifeLock 400. Elliott Sadler next up in the Stanley Tools. Number 19 Dodge.
Oh, he's trying something a little different here. He's going to diamond this turn off, get a good head of steam coming to the line.
See what he does when he goes back through 3 and 4 on his actual lap.
Yeah, I think that was just a momentum thing, trying to diamond a turn a little bit. Car a little tight right in the middle of the corner, maybe trying to keep from bogging it down.
All the last 5 years, he's qualified in the top 10 for Dover's spring race.
Got a smooth lap going.
He's 32nd quickest in practice, but boy, stepped out on him there coming off turn 4. We've seen so many issues. 23:14.
No, that's 7th fastest.
But he becomes, I think, the first guy to run faster than what he practiced earlier.
So David Rudiman, Casey Kane, and Greg Biffle are fastest so far.
There's a reason for the sunshine sky, and there's a reason why I'm feeling so high. Must be the season.
You get more power and more space. The world gets fewer smog-forming emissions. The 3rd generation Prius. It's harmony between man, nature, and machine.
This is racing, y'all. Sometimes you gotta trade a little paint.
Introducing Amp Energy's Trading Paint. Orange, berry, and lime climb together for a limited time. From Amp Energy.
Dale Jr.
Amp up.
Hey, Kevin. Filling up with nitrogen-enriched shell gasoline? It seeks and destroys the engine gunk left by lower quality gasoline.
Yes! Winner!
Everyone wins with new nitrogen-enriched shell gasolines.
What project you working on today?
This.
We can help you with that.
Thanks. I'm just starting out, so I'm kind of on a budget.
We're good with budgets. You'll need one of these, at least. Pit crew.
Okay.
Crew chief.
Cool.
Read this. And you'll need an owner. I recommend this one.
What about fans?
What do you say we start with 300,000 and go from there?
Whoa.
Helping people do more than they ever thought possible. That's the power of the Home Depot.
NASCAR was born, and they came to race. You remember their names and every winning moment. Now it's time to capture your favorite NASCAR memories Introducing the NASCAR Hall of Fame Commemorative Brick Program. To reserve your place in NASCAR history, visit us online at NASCARHall.com/brick or call 1-888-NHF-BRKS. The NASCAR Hall of Fame, building memories one brick at a time.
John Andretti back in the Sprint Cup Series after his foray at Indianapolis. And the Taco Bell Chevy clocks in at 23.76 for John. Top 20 finish at Indy. Over $250,000 payoff for that one. Matt?
Well, catching up with last week's winner at the Coca-Cola 600, so if you had anything to do over again for your qualifying run, would you make a change, or was that about as good as you could do?
No, I think we maybe adjust tire pressures a little bit. It was a little bit tight out there for us. So, but you know, all in all, it's a pretty good run for the Air Train machine. I'm not really sure if that's going to hold up for the pole or not, but hopefully it'll give us good pit selection and maybe a decent starting position on Sunday.
They've got the momentum, and it continues to show week in, week out.
Thanks, Matt. A.J. Allmendinger, the Auto Value bumper-to-bumper Dodge.
I think it's fair to say about Rudiman, he got the momentum back. Because he had 3 really bad. He was in the top 12 in the chase for a good bit of the early season here, but then he had 3 really bad races. And now he's sitting outside the top 12 by 6 points in 13th. So got it back.
Yeah, his 3 finishes before the win at Lowe's was 26th, 28th, and 29th.
Yeah.
Allmendinger 5th fastest with a 23.12. Wow.
Good run for him.
Dick?
Well, no doubt, one of the people that David Rudiman is going to be watching and worried about is the Rocket Man, Ryan Newman. 4 poles here and 4th quick in practice. Can you pick up just a little bit more?
4 divided by 4 is 1, right? No, we were pretty good. We kept working our way, getting the car better and qualifying trim, and finally got it really good to the point that we were 4th. So we made a couple small changes, and we'll see what it's like. The U.S. Army Chevrolet was good off the truck, and I really look forward to Sunday.
Now, when it comes to hold your breath drivers at qualifying, here's the king.
Yes, he is.
Smart guys like that really they confuse me. 4 divided by 4 is 1. I go, now wait a minute.
I had to think about that myself.
It's like all those percentages last week that Mike was going. I said, wait a minute, how many? There's only 100%.
Kurt Busch has 3 front row starts in 2009. But he's 10th on the first lap at a 23.22 here.
And you know, he has 14 straight top 15 starts here. With still over half the field to go, that streak may come to an end.
He is 10th fastest and the 3rd quickest Dodge.
What are you guys doing tomorrow about 6:15? Want to walk the track with me?
You going to do the NASCAR
do the track,
walk?
yeah, for MRO, and a bunch of guys are. Carl and Matt, Logano, Reagan.
That'd be a good thing for us to do. We can reminisce about our 13 races of NASCAR on Fox.
Yeah, and a lot of fans are going to come out. There's still tickets available.
Yeah, the fans are invited to, to do this track walk as well and see Dover from a driver's eye perspective.
I probably need some fans cheering me on to make a lap around here.
Well, I was going to say, based on your dinner last night, you probably need that walk.
Jimbo's going to be riding along beside me in the golf cart. Free golf cart rides.
Here's Jamie Mack in the Crown Royal Fusion. Started 5th here a year ago, his best career start here.
Car just went up the hill down there in 3 and 4. He was actually in pretty good shape. Still going to be a decent run for him, but he was on a top 5 run until he got the middle of 3 and 4.
It's like the car's just too tight, Larry, and he just kind of has to let it run up the hill.
That knocks Kurt Busch out of the top 10. 23.21 for Jamie Mack, 10th.
Of course, he'll probably get out and say the car was too loose, and he was backing it up the hill. It's kind of hard to tell when you're doing what he's doing. Whoa.
That was ugly.
Well, the second lap was slower, but the first lap good for top 10 right now. 10 out of 17.
It's just semi-ugly. I don't think that was all the way ugly.
No.
You know, Darrell, you mentioned this. I think we were looking at practice speeds, but we've got cars that are at a 213, a 216, a 221, a 238. I mean, just packed together in there.
Tight.
Tony Stewart, Dale Earnhardt Jr. chatting a little bit.
And David Reagan in the UPS Ford next up. 5 nationwide races here. Best start of 4th. But in the Cup Series, he's hopeful of his first top 20 start today.
He was 23rd quickest in the practice we had earlier.
One time in practice, all the Roush cars were looking pretty racy. This car doesn't look too bad. It got up the corner over there without getting any trouble. It up a little high here. Sometimes that doesn't hurt you if you can get it cut back down and hold it wide open. Not too good, though.
But Reagan last year came in here 13th in points. Here he's 32nd place coming in.
And that's good for 14th quickest on that lap 1. But yeah, we said earlier we felt like this track would be a good measuring stick for exactly where the Roush Fenway cars are. Not won a race since Matt Kenseth won the first 2 races of the year. When you go back to last year, they pretty much dominated the fall race here.
Second lap about a 10th slower. So Roush Fenway right now has Biffle in 3rd, McMurray 10th, and Reagan 14th.
And when I think about Roush's cars, and I think about Matt Kenseth at California, he had to drive away. He had to hold off Jeff Gordon, who had a great car in California, and he was able to win that race. You'd think they had their stuff together.
It's the perfect storm of danger and speed. Don't miss the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series in Speed HD. From Dover, tonight, 8 Eastern. NASCAR on Speed. Be there.
I saw this ad on television. If you lose your job, they take your car back. I think that sounds like the worst day ever. At Saturn, we wouldn't do that. If you buy a new Saturn and lose your job, we'll make your payments for up to 9 months. We'll even help protect its value at trade-in time. It's all part of something we're calling Saturn Total Confidence. We've been doing right by people since day 1. Learn more at SaturnConfidence.com. Get 0% APR for 60 months on most 09 vehicles.
Stop your...
My first car was a 64 Thunderbird. It was terrible, and I was in love with it. Wyotek, I needed to be there. They know exactly what they're talking about because they've done it themselves. You know you're learning something that you're gonna use. You have a lot of hands-on. In engines class, you take it all the way apart, and then you put it all the way back together, and then you run it, and it's loud. I love working on cars. It's fulfilling. My name is Teresa. My school is Wyotek.
Get on the fast track to a career. Train with Wyotek
at 1-800-515-9734.
Searching for your next car? You gotta go to VHIX.com. You can find whatever car you want. 1.2 million vehicles. Over 1.2 million cars. Where else are you gonna go? You can search down to the specifics. The exact color, the exact price, the exact make, the exact model. Now that's searching. And if it's not there, they'll send you an email when it is. Dude, we got your car. Come pick it up.
Search over 1 million new and used vehicles for the car you want at VHIX.com, your online resource to find your ride. Local dealer inventories are now searchable at VHIX.com on your mobile phone.
With a 23.50, 18th of 19 right now. The 2 Yates Racing Fords, Labonte and Menard, well down the list in this session. So here is Denny Hamlin, who started 3rd here in both fall races 2007 and 8. Got in that big wreck on the backstretch here last spring. Won the nationwide race last spring as well.
I played in Artie's golf tournament yesterday for Autism with all the guys from FedEx.
Yeah.
Now, I tell you what, we had us a ball. They were smoking big cigars, and they need to work on their golf game a little bit. They told me it's because they have to work so hard.
All right, Denny Hamlin is 9th fastest in his FedEx Toyota. Dick?
But the big story of the weekend is Dale Earnhardt Jr. working with a new crew chief, Brian Weitzel. How's it going, Junior?
It's going good. Team's got a good attitude, and everybody that's on board this weekend is working really, really hard. So it's been good so far.
Talk about pressure. There have been cameras and microphones following this fella every place he has gone, more so this weekend than usual. And he's doing just a great job of dealing with it all.
Well, anytime a sport's most popular athlete undergoes a big change, it's going to draw the attention of the fans, the media, and everybody. Now here comes the rocket. 10 straight top 5 starts for Ryan Newman through this race in 2007, and that included 4 poles. But looks like Newman may come up shy of another one here.
Too much rear shock on that car. You see, it really snatches the back of the car down when it goes off in the corner, like it's got maybe a little bit too much rebound in the rear shocks now. That's just my observation.
Ends up 9th at a 23.15. He says one and done.
Ryan hasn't had a top 10 start here in the last 3 races.
Sunday, NASCAR Race Day drives into Dover.
It's a very grooty racetrack.
Find out what change will make racing at the Monster Mile even better. With Junior struggling, did Hendrick make the right call in replacing Tony Uri Jr.? And will the change get the 88 back on track in Dover? NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. Live coverage in Speed HD begins Sunday at 11:30 Eastern. And celebrate with us at 8 Eastern in NASCAR Victory Lane. NASCAR on Speed. Be there.
Right about now, this country could use a little joyride. So walk into a Harley-Davidson dealer today and test ride any new bike available. No obligation, no bull. You'll feel something that's been hard to feel lately. Excited about the direction you're headed. The Harley-Davidson Super Ride. Take the ride of your life.
For NASCAR drivers, blocking is a way to stay ahead, lap after lap. For me, blocking is how I stay ahead of heartburn, all day and all night. Prilosec OTC blocks heartburn before it begins, so I can enjoy the tailgating foods I love on race day. Try Prilosec OTC, the round-the-clock heartburn blocker.
Racing fans like to act fast. Book early and get Travelodge's best offer of the year. Book now and save a quick 20%. Get your getaway in gear. Save 20% now at Travelodge.com.
What's your pit type? Sweaty? Hairy? Sensitive? Introducing the first line of customized protection, New Speed Stick Pro. What's your pit type?
What an incredible turnaround for the Gillette team. That is Richard Petty Motorsports. Reed Sorensen just clocked in 3rd fastest. They have Casey Kane 2nd, Reed 3rd, Allmendinger 6th, and Sadler 9th.
Well,
wow.
You know what? A lot of that could be working on this new engine has helped them with their old engine. You know, you see things about the new engine and what it's doing and how it's working that might help you tune up your old engine a little bit.
I guess we need to clarify that, to our knowledge, the only new Dodge engine for Richard Petty Motorsports is actually in the 9 car. The other 3 still have the old Dodge engine.
Still, Larry, that's a huge turnaround for that team.
I mean, 4 cars in the top 9.
And Carl Edwards, who has a 5th and a 6th place start, but no top 10s in the last 3 races at Dover, and that'll make 4 races because he's 11th right now with the Aflac Ford at 23.16. That's about a 10th off what Greg Biffle ran. Biffle's 4th, Carl is 11th.
Had a couple of good runs, though, last year here. Top 3 finishes in both 2008 races.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., Mountain Dew National Guard Chevy, started outside pole here in 2007. He has 7 top 10 and 13 top 15 starts here.
Tell you what, he looked pretty good getting down in there, but I don't know if he's be able to get back to the gas quick enough.
And one thing while he's making this run, Dick Burton just talked to him, and Lance McGrew will take over next week at Pocono. Lance is looking after Brad Keselowski here this weekend. Tony Uri Jr. is still with Hendrick Motorsports. He has not went anywhere. Him and Lance McGrew are going to swap roles, which Lance McGrew has been doing research and development, plus looking after the 25 car on its partial schedule.
The car just wouldn't turn, Larry. You saw it on the throttle graph there. He tried to get back into gas, and he couldn't. And the more he tried to put gas to it, the more the thing pushed the nose. So the car just wasn't turning good enough for him.
So 2 of the Hendrick cars have qualified. Jimmy Johnson is 7th. Dale Earnhardt Jr. for now is 18th. Matt Kenseth made his first start here in 1998 driving Bill Elliott's car and finished 6th after starting 16th. He has a pole and 6 top 10 starts at Dover.
The way he's been qualifying, you know, he was on pole at Darlington, and he's been qualifying a lot better this year. Looked like the car lost a little time off turn 2. Pretty good up to then.
He's jumped 3 spots in the points in the last 2 weeks to 9th.
car's got a good-looking look. It looks good getting off the corner. A little shaky getting in.
Comes up 12th right now at a 23.179.
So he's the third fastest Ford right now behind Biffle and Edwards.
Got to tell this story real quick because to me this is one of the cutest stories I believe I've heard. Matt's wife Katie is pregnant, and Matt and Katie do not want to know what this baby's going to be, a boy or a girl. But they didn't want to wait till the baby was born to decorate the nursery. So they've got a good friend that's an interior decorator. They gave a picture from the doctor to the interior decorator, and the interior decorator...
They did not see the picture.
Right, they did not see the picture. They have the nursery locked. The only person that has a key to it is the interior decorator. She's been up there decorating the room during the day, locks the door at night where they can't go in there, and she went so far as to when they put the carpet down where they couldn't look under the door and see the color of the carpet, they stuffed towels in there where they could not look in and see the color of the carpet.
So they're going to find out in, what, about a month and a half here.
And then walk into a nursery that's ready to go and decorated for whatever gender the baby may be.
Matt?
Mike, like so many times for the past 4 decades, the 43 fast on pole day at Dover. So what does this type of run do for you and the other members of your team confidence-wise?
Well, it helps a little bit. We have a lot of sponsors with McDonald's, Air Force, and Valvoline, and last weekend was a special weekend to have the U.S. Air Force in the car, and we didn't quite finish where we wanted to. So we have U.S. Air Force in the car again this week, and we actually get to go tour C5 later on tonight. So we like to go in there on the base and say, hey, we qualified good today. So that's not the only reason we qualified good, but the car's been good since we unloaded, and that makes it a lot easier on myself as a driver and on my crew chief and everybody on the team. So it's been good since we've been here, and Casey's car is obviously good. He's got the new motor this weekend, so we can just finish out the weekend with a good run. We'll be happy.
The Dover Air Force Base nearby, so it's a home game, so to speak, for the 43.
So this amazing turnaround continue, and just to give you the depth of this, the average right now of the 4 Richard Petty drivers is 5th. Their average starting position this year is 25th. Wow. Clint Boyer, the Hartford Insurance Group Chevy, times in with a 23.29, 20th fastest for Boyer.
This may be one of the bullets right here, even though he didn't show the speed in practice that David Rudeman will have to watch closely. The way this team been qualifying every single week.
Put up a fast lap early, but then when everybody started working on their qualifying runs, kind of slid down the chart. We know the car has the speed in it, so we'll see what Mark can do with it.
Mark Martin has 4 poles and 4 wins at Dover, all for Jack Roush.
It's like he's chopping it a little bit, Larry. Looks like he's kind of cutting the car, juking it through the corner, not nice and smooth, and having to work the throttle quite a lot.
Boy, this may end up being one of his worst qualifying efforts of the year.
See the throttle, he just can't get back to it.
He's having to drive it with the throttle as much as he is the steering wheel. Something we hadn't seen much this year. Mark Martin, 24th quickest after lap 1.
Mark has only started that far back twice in 45 races here.
Here you talk about 45 races. What's amazing in those 45 races, 21 top 5s and 28 top 10 finishes for Mark.
It's the perfect storm of danger and speed. Don't miss the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series in Speed HD. From Dover, tonight, 8 Eastern. NASCAR on Speed. Be there.
The fastest accelerating, most agile side-by-side in the world. The Red Hot Ranger RZR. Nothing else comes close. Razor sharp performance. See it up close at your local Polaris Ranger dealer.
Introducing the Golden Corral 7-Day Dinner Cruise, a different dinner theme every night. Monday is Seafood Extravaganza. Tuesday, Sizzles with Applewood Bacon. Wednesday is our Hickory Bourbon Grill. It's all on our endless buffet, all for around $10. Golden Corral, help yourself to happiness.
We've made a great product even better.
Now every drop of Shell gasolines contain a nitrogen-enriched cleaning system that seeks and destroys engine gunk left by lower quality gasoline.
It protects engines from performance-robbing gunk.
Try new nitrogen-enriched Shell gasolines.
Working on Carl's signature move was not going well. We threw the 6 guns at him. The Matador. Hey! Ha-ha! Hot potato. Wow! Yeah! The Blur. The Spray. The Wounded Unicorn. Nothing was working. Let's try the Worm.
Oh, dude.
Then we were eating Subway sandwiches, and that was it. He's been doing it ever since.
Nothing fuels Carl Edwards like a sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Customized with veggies like black olives and green peppers. The flavor he wants, the fuel he needs.
Subway. Eat fresh.
Take me out to Esurance. Take me to Savings Online. Auto insurance that's hassle-free. When you buy it, instantly let me quote. Buy with at Esurance. If you don't save, it's a shame. For it's $100, $200, $300 you can save with the Esurance name.
Save time and money on your auto insurance at Esurance.
For Richard Childress Racing, Casey Mears is 14th, Clint Boyer 20th, Jeff Burton 25th, and here is Kevin Harvick 26th. Out of the 28 cars that have gone so far. It brings out Sudden Sam. Sam Hornish, 2 4th-place starts, Talladega and Darlington. Both his seasons and career best.
If you just want to know if a guy's going to go fast or not, watch that throttle graph. When he can mat it, when he can put that, see how he's playing with that throttle? To go faster, you got to put it down and keep it down off the corner.
Decent run for Sam. 11th quickest, got a 23.16.
And that makes him the fastest of the 3 Penske cars.
And pedaling it like that is what you do in the race, depending on grip. But for qualifying, you got to be able to hold it wide open up off the corner to go fast.
So Hornish is 11th. Not as quick as the Richard Petty Dodges, but quickest among his peer group over at Penske. When we get to knockout qualifying.
Hey, have we not seen this before?
Like last Monday afternoon?
Yeah, but Darrell, he's waiting with his sunglasses on.
Right.
That is the that's the big difference.
And that little smile on his face, he didn't have that last week either.
When we get to knockout qualifying, 8 drivers will make it, 4 go home. 12 drivers in knockout qualifying a little later on.
Last week he was anguishing in the rain.
Right.
Today he's basking in the sun.
Very good. Tony Stewart. Big long string of top 10 finishes. 1 second row start here and a couple of victories.
But I watched him come to the green off turn 4, and it pretty much told the tale that he was not going to have a good lap. He was sideways coming to take the green.
And he is 27th at a 23.45.
And that coming to get the green, that just puts such doubt in your mind when you take that thing off in the first turn. Again, approaching 180 miles an hour. Now you're saying, is she going to stick or is she going to slide?
That one slid.
Yep.
So his teammate Ryan Newman is 10th. Tony is 26th.
Good job hanging on to it there, bud. Where's that got him?
Yeah.
You don't want to know, Smoke.
26 right now for the Old Spice Chevy. Now here's a driver who had a great practice run and was a threat to win last week at Lowe's Motor Speedway. Had we gone the distance, Juan Pablo Montoya.
Watch this. Now, this forget everything we've been saying about where you run on the racetrack. Because Juan has a style all his own.
You know, it's funny you say that. You know, he ran up there right from the drop of the green flag at Lowe's. His spotter told me a while ago he was up there on the pace lap. I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm trying to clean my groove off when the green flag comes out.
Right. Now, Juan has an outside pole here.
Look at him. Nobody else now. He will cut to the bottom. I think he feels like he's getting momentum running down.
And I'm going to tell you what, look how much he gained from the middle of 3 and 4.
Running down the hill.
Third quickest at a 23:07.
You know, though, if you think about it, Mike, that's road racing style.
Yep.
You go in late, go in high.
Late
apex, cut it to the bottom and run down these hills. Paid off for one.
I'd say.
That's a good lap. Third quickest.
Yep.
He's the fastest Chevrolet.
So he goes in, he gets out of his car and says, now how do y'all think we should run this track?
Any way you want would be the answer. The Target Chevy, third fastest.
He's pretty cagey, really. If you said, how about the way you run the track, Ronnie? He'd say, what? What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Robbie Gordon, the Richmond Water Heaters Toyota, finished third at Lowe's Motor Speedway, but they had a little issue with the rear end there, Larry.
Yeah, in post-race inspection, NASCAR pulled the rear end housing out, and they monitor and limit the amount of tow out you can run in the rear end. And the reason these guys run tow out, it helps the side force on the side of the race car. They had too much. You're allowed 1 degree. They had about 0.2 of a degree too much. And because of it, they docked Robbie Gordon 50 driver and owner points, and crew chief Kurt Almquist was fined $50,000 and put on probation until the end of the year.
Now that lap was the antithesis of the loose is fast category, because Robbie is 31st with a 23.73 with a car that was loose at both ends of the track, that is.
Yeah, he's going to have his work cut out for him on Sunday. That's next to the slowest car so far.
Michael Waltrip takes to the track in the Napa Camry. Here's Matt.
Fast lap by JPM. So how would you describe your big fast lap?
I'll tell you, this Target Craft Chevy, it's been amazing. We unloaded good. In our practice, we were not as fast as we wanted to be, but I had a couple of moments going into 3, so it's nice. I think it's a very different race than anybody else's from what I've seen, but it seems to work for me, so I'm pretty happy.
Is this like for you? They always say this is a Bristol on steroids. How similar when you were trying to learn both?
Very different. You know, what's nice about this, from my background with cars with a lot of grip, this is probably the most grip we have on these cars anywhere we go, so it's a lot of fun to drive.
Thanks, Juan.
And a great lap, third fastest. Michael Waltrip won a pole here in 1991 for Bahari Racing. This will be his 47th Dover start, and he times in 26th at a 23.34.
Darrell, that was an interesting comment. The most grip of anywhere we go with this car.
I just think some drivers love the feel of concrete. It's a different feel than anywhere else we go. Obviously, you know, there's only 2 concrete racetracks in Martinsville in the turns, but I think it's the concrete. Maybe the tires are probably doing their job this weekend, and then the banking. I think the banking adds a lot to the grip factor as well.
Now here's a threat for the pole. Montoya's teammate, the Bass Pro Shop Chevy of Martin Truex Jr., started 5th here in the fall of '07 after winning the spring race.
But I'm like you, Larry. I'm not sure where that comment comes from.
I've never heard anybody say that about Dover.
When you see these
concrete
cars
or asphalt
slipping and sliding around, you would question that. But
yeah, and that killed his speed all the way down the back straightaway, and it just kept escalating all the way through 3 and 4.
Yeah, 1 is enough. He's
one and done for Martin Truex. He is 15th with a 23.17. Truex 15th, his teammate Montoya 3rd.
I'd say that bullet and this next bullet is the 2 biggest that David Ruderman will have to dodge.
I think Jeff Gordon's got a bona fide shot here. That's right about what he ran in practice. I think he ran a
93. 93. Third quickest.
So this is going to be close. He's either going to just nip him or be right in between he and Kane, which is going to be hard to do.
Jeff has 9 front row starts here, 4 poles, 5 outside poles. He has led over 2,200 laps at this track, second on the all-time list to Bobby Allison.
Now, if you got back trouble, you're going to know it here. 400 miles, I can tell you, because this place, oh no, goodness gracious.
In the wall hard.
Just snapped loose all at once.
That was a hard lick.
Like he said, that hurt. The last thing that the man needed was pound the wall like that. That car just snapped.
He was playing with the throttle, Darrell. You could see it on our throttle trace through 1 and 2.
Up just a little bit, tries to diamond it down, got it on the bottom here, but watch this thing. Just quickly snaps at the worst possible place.
He was trying to drive out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right here, and man, there's nothing you can do right there. You try to correct it, but it's too late. It's so fast. Slide. Man, and that's right out. No safer barrier right there.
That was pure wall there.
You know, I love our race fans. I love their enthusiasm for this sport. But why would you cheer a thing like this? I don't get it.
I'm not sure either, Mike.
Boy, that car is hurt.
They'll be going to a backup car, and they'll have to get that thing ready to race in those 2 practice sessions tomorrow. Forecast is good for tomorrow.
So the final big threat to Ruderman for the pole ends up in the fence instead. Ouch.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Measure your day in thrills per hour at Infineon Raceway. The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series returns to Sonoma for the Toyota Save Mart 350 Father's Day weekend, June 19th through 21st. It's bumper cars at 150 miles per hour, plus an air show, driver Q&A sessions, and more. The Toyota Save Mart 350, part of the Big O Tires racing season. For tickets, call 800-870-RACE or visit InfineonRaceway.com.
Want a driver's autograph? Leave it to the driver seeker.
Our FedEx Camry is really running great.
Oh, it's got a peg. Careful! There's something on my car.
Hey, kid.
Do you have any experience?
Nah, not at all.
Do you know how much you need?
How much?
That much.
That
Zero.
much?
Okay? It's not training for a little job.
Yeah.
It's training for a career.
That's something right there.
It's a big demand for electricians. You can do anything. You go anywhere. How many times can you change your life with one phone call?
That's good. Hey, where do I sign up at? I'm convinced. People like him are waiting for people like you to call. Make the call.
Guess what, big companies? This small business just got internet with Microsoft Communication Services, only from Comcast. Now these productivity titans can share documents, backup files, and update calendars just like you. Now they've got your tools, and they're coming for your customers next. Booyah. Comcast Business Class. Turn your office on.
Call now to get Comcast Business Class Internet and TV for $59.95 a month.
To reserve your place in NASCAR history, visit us online at NASCARHall.com/brick.
Here comes the backup DuPont Chevrolet for Jeff Gordon. He took a hard hit to the wall in turn number 2. Matt's with him.
He's climbed from the car, and Jeff, we heard you say on the radio it hurt. We're hoping you were talking about the car and not yourself. Are you all right?
Both. It hurt the car. Obviously, it's destroyed. You know, it's so hard to save one when it jumps loose on you like that qualifying. You're so committed. I just hate it for these guys. You know, we were so good all day today. The car got through 3 and 4 incredibly good coming to the green. And so, you know, that's my telltale sign of what kind of grip and what kind of balance we had. And I got into 1, and car felt good, got back in the gas, and the back end just came around on me just a tiny bit. And I tried to correct it, and obviously you can see what happened. It just shot straight in the fence, and that was a hard hit.
All right, good to see you're okay. Thanks, Jeff.
Now, a week ago, Jeff Gordon had a facet injection to try to cure some of that back pain that he's had. Said he felt better, but gosh, that was a hard hit. Now, this 06 car belongs to Trevor Boys from Alberta, Canada. Trevor made a couple of practice laps with it, wasn't very fast. They put David Starr in the car, and Starr completed the practice session, just went out, took the green flag, but did not complete a lap.
Yeah, so their qualifying attempt's over. You know, they will be one of the four cars that does not make this show.
And we are into knockout qualifying now. 4 drivers go home. So David Starr, and frankly, I think that was the slowest car in practice. It was. So Starr will go home. Here they are in the order that they will qualify. Joe Nemechek up next. Joe's first trip here resulted in a third-place start. That was driving for Larry Hedrick back in 1994. If he makes it, this will be his 500th Cup start.
At one point, Joe was pretty high up on the practice sheet.
He was right there in the top 10 or 12.
Yeah,
that's right, Darrell. He ended up being second of the Go Homers, 31st overall.
Well, he had a little D-dive.
Look at this right here, Darrell.
Wow.
Even with that.
The GP's Enterprises Toyota for front row Joe. And an error with the tracker. That's why we've taken it down. Nemechek was not up on pole. He is 23.55. That's 33rd fastest, and that's not the kind of sporty lap he's looking for.
I was going to turn in my hard card if that tracker was right.
No, Joe's got to go. And the second lap is slower.
Yeah, they're gonna have to anxiously wait this out.
Yeah.
Pretty loose.
Now he's a 55.
It's really slick.
Tell you, it's hot out there right now. I know when I was coming over here earlier, it had gotten really, really hot, and we got sun beaming down pretty good too. Now, Larry, you know, it's not like asphalt necessarily, but it still gets hot.
It still takes grip away. And you're right. About 10 or 12 cars ago, it seemed like the sun popped out more so than it had been earlier in the session.
Yeah.
Now, Joe was a 23.55. I think you'd like to see a lap about 2/10 quicker, somewhere in the mid-30s to feel pretty good about your chances here. David Gilliland is next, looking to make his 99th start in the Sprint Cup Series. The CompUSA.com Charter Air Transport Chevy for Gilliland.
I think this will kind of give us an idea about what kind of time you need to be able to make the show, because he's usually pretty quick.
He was the fastest of the Go Homers in practice, 22nd overall. Good lap, a 28. 23.28 for Gilliland.
Yeah, so I think somewhere in between a 30 and a 40 maybe is what it may very well take.
Yeah, he'll be in good shape there. Good shape.
On both sides of the fence there with it.
You know, Darrell, you were talking at the top of the show, the fact that it's hard to back up what you practice. We've seen very few, only one or two cars. It just seems like, in this, I think it's kind of normal, but more so in this qualifying session, everybody's just looser.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because the track is heated up, but I haven't heard anybody get out of their car and say the car just plowed and wouldn't turn.
I think most drivers go out there, even on a mock qualifying run, and don't necessarily get as aggressive as they do when they make a real qualifying run. There's just something about when you come off turn 4 and that green flag is in the air, you want to give it that little bit more, and that's what gets you in trouble.
Scott Speed, 36th in the point standings. He lacks 41 points of being in the top 35 and exempted from knockout qualifying.
I think he's going to be okay with this lap here, though. He's not locked in yet, of course, but I think that may be plenty safe.
But he had a really good lap, but he had to wait for the car right in the middle of the corner down here. Couldn't get back to the throttle.
Looks like he might pick up on lap 2, Darrell.
Right here. You see how the car just kind of shot up the racetrack right there? It's the same thing it did the last time by.
But he's definitely working on better in his first lap.
Wow, goes from a 31 to a 27.
And jumps in front of David Gilliland.
Yeah, so he's the fastest Go Homer right now. He was 8th in that group in practice, so a nice pickup for Scott Speed.
You know, they missed the show at Darlington, but then came back last week at Lowe's and qualified and finished 18th with that 82 car.
The Furniture Row Chevy for Regan Smith will be our next qualifier.
He was the 3rd quickest of the Go Homers in that practice session earlier.
These guys here just seem to be either really, really, really good or just kind of mediocre. They don't seem to have a
no in between.
No, not real consistent.
And Darrell, when they get in the show, the biggest thing they got to work on is pit stops. You and I watched him at Darlington.
Man. That was painful to watch.
33rd, 34th. Yeah. He needs another 10th here, I think, to feel safe.
Yeah, he's going to be quicker than Joe Nemechek. Right now, he's 33rd quickest.
at a 46, and that will send David Starr to the house.
Now, see, one thing about all these guys, I know most of them, or all of them, plan on running both laps. So you might set your car just a teeny bit different, knowing that you got to run both laps.
Goes down about a 10th.
So that will lock Scott Speed into the show.
This team here, they've qualified for every race they've showed up for this year, running a limited schedule, and I think it's definitely paid off.
Stories at both ends of the spectrum on our the two teams that were bright spots of the Daytona 500. Mayfield Racing were entered here with J.J. Yaley. However, they withdrew a few days ago and did not come to the track here in Dover. This is Tommy Baldwin Racing. And they've had Scott Riggs in the car all season. Scott and Tommy agreed to part ways following the Coke 600. And Mike Skinner will drive most of the race. He'll drive all the races for Tommy Baldwin where he doesn't have a conflict with a Truck Series race at a different track.
This is the guy to put in the car if you want to know if it'll run or not. If you got anything here, if I got a car that's capable of making races, because Skinner, he helped that 82 bunch, or 83 when he drove it. So much, and A.J. Allmendinger, and that may be just what Tommy and these guys need too.
That's good news for Regan Smith. Now, that does not lock Regan in. Mike Skinner to 23:47.
He has run 15 Sprint Cup races here. And the Shea Trucking Toyota, well, I'd like to see that a little quicker to feel safe about that lap. It's a 47 for Skinner.
Locks David Gilliland in along with Scott Speed now.
I'd really like to know what Mike Skinner thinks about this car, based on getting in it, and is it like handling? Is it like power? What does it lack to be one of the cars that could get in a race every week? I think that's where Mike's really going to help these guys from a technical standpoint of view.
Now Mike's going to run this car at a lot of the companion events when the Truck Series is with the Cup cars.
I saw this car here in practice, and it scared me a couple of times. I know it because of what it did right there. It was sparking out from under the bottom of it big time getting down into turn 1, and I just saw it do that getting into turn 3, getting up to speed.
Mike Bliss was 4th among the Go homers in practice. He is one of 3 triple duty drivers here, Kyle Busch being the other. Whoa! Almost lost it right there.
See that sparks coming out from there? There's something that is dragging. It was dragging a lot worse. They have helped it, but that's like putting the brakes on.
Now that little green line, that represents Regan Smith's lap at 33rd quickest.
Whoa, there he goes.
Way up in the dust and the dirt and the rubber parts, and that'll do it for Mike Bliss. 23:51. He is 37.
How could a concrete track be dusty?
With black dust.
That's it, from the tires.
That will lock in David Gilliland.
This car did the same thing in practice.
Wow.
NASCAR's greatest drivers and defining moments. Man-Made Thunder. This must-have book for NASCAR fans can be yours for only $49 from ShopSpeedTV.com. Buy it today. Man-Made Thunder. This unique NASCAR collectible is available at ShopSpeedTV.com.
What do you say to a spin around the color wheel? To paint with primer already mixed in. Test samples instead of canned commitments. What do you say we dip into our wallets less and grab a hold of the latest tools out there so we can quit all that messing around with extra steps and get busy turning our doing dials up a notch? More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
What's your pit type? Sweaty? Hairy? Sensitive? Introducing the first line of customized protection, New Speed Stick Pro. What's your pit type?
We now offer phone service for $1.70 a month with MagicJack. That's just $19.95 a year. $19.95 a year. We give you free local and long distance and your own phone number. Replace your phone company or add a second line with MagicJack.
NASCAR Sprint Cup qualifying on speed is presented by Subway. Try the tangy new Subway Tuscan Chicken Melt, the newest fresh fit choice. Subway, eat fresh. David Rudiman hoping to hold on and win the Coors Light pole as Derek Cope, who won here in June of 1990, backing up his Daytona 500 win of the same year, trying to make his first start of 2009 in the Flippin' Bags Dodge.
You know who his crew chief was?
Buddy Parrott.
Big Buddy. We had some times together. Oh my gosh.
A lot of times we don't need to talk about.
That was one of my rowdy friends.
Now Cope's first lap is the slowest of the day, 24:32.
Man,
those cars are evil off turn 2.
It doesn't know if it's pushing it or loose, but it's trying to do both at the same time. That's hard to overcome.
This should end up being good news for Mike Skinner.
Yeah, Cope is slower, so he is in the bottom 4. Mike Skinner locks in, and the bottom 4 are Mike Bliss, Joe Nemechek, Derek Cope, and David Starr, with 4 cars to go.
Watching that thing come off the corner, Larry, it's like, push, 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 loose!
Finally, those front wheels bite. And what is it you'd say? The hind tires aren't caught up.
My hind tires came unhooked.
Brad Keselowski on GoDaddy.com. Chevy trying to make his 5th start of the season. He has 3 top 10 finishes in 4 nationwide series starts here, and has also raced twice here in the Truck Series. He needs to beat a 23:51. That's the green line, and that represents Mike Bliss.
His last 2 times out in the Cup Points event, he won, of course, at Talladega, driving for the 09 car that Mike Bliss is driving here. And a couple of weeks, 3 weeks ago at Darlington, had a great, solid top 10 run. That lap there will not do it. Nope. 23:64.
That's quick enough to knock out David Starr, but not quick enough to lock in.
He's trying to do it on his second lap. Did look better off 2 that time. Let's see what he can do off 4. If he doesn't lose the back end here, he might have a semi-shot.
Just hesitated right in the middle of 3 and 4, so this lap will not do it yet.
Now a little tick slower. And Keselowski now is in the bottom 2. And it means that Mike Bliss will race. Mike Bliss locks in. David Starr is out. So with 3 cars to go, the bottom 3 are Nemechek, Keselowski, and Cope.
Crew chief on that 25 car this week, Lance McGrew. That's who will be with Tony Dale Earnhardt Jr. starting next week at Pocono.
So with Bliss locked into the field, now the time to beat is Joe Nemechek's 23:55. Here is Dave Blaney for Prism Motorsports. Finished 9th in this race last year for Bill Davis.
What do you think here, car owner? Got a shot? Why are you speechless?
That's Phil Parsons, one of the co-owners of this team, who is here to call the Camping World Truck Series race that's coming up next.
Tell you what, old Dave has a way of normally reaching down in the bottom of that bag and finding a little something. Right now, through 3 and 4, he's looking in pretty good shape. If he can just stay in the throttle off the corner, it's just going to be right there right now.
No, 23:55 with a 4. Nemechek is 55 with a 2.
Man, he's going to have to really dig down and see what he got here. I hope they're talking to him.
So he's in the bottom 3.
I know Phil is, because I can
Unless
get
he
Phil
picks
back
up.
here.
It's just going to be right there on top of that first lap that he ran, it looks like.
Needs 2 1,000ths, and no, he is slower. So Joe Nemechek locks in with a 23:552. Blaney is 1 spot away with a 5.54.
Derek Cope and David Starr, they will not race on Sunday.
Right. 2 cars to go, and our bottom 2 right now are Blaney and Keselowski. Our Friday Advance Auto Parts menu, Inside the Headsets, comes up next. Then at 5:30, you'll see NASCAR Camping World Truck Series qualifying. Trackside at 7 with Tony Stewart, Mark Martin, Alan Gustafson, the guests. And the setup and the Camping World Truck Series race at 8 p.m. tonight.
Kind of makes me nervous getting inside of somebody's headset.
Yeah.
There can be some bad stuff in some headsets.
I've seen that.
Max Pappas.
Most of the time it's vapor lock.
Max in the Geico Toyota starts 22nd in the Truck Series, trying to make his 6th start of 09. Time to beat is Blaney with a 23:554. Keselowski's a 23.664. And this is not going to do it. 23.882. Did they make an engine change? They were excused from the qualifying draw.
Yeah, all they're trying to do right now is just get qualified. No matter what, they're going to have to go to the rear of the field, but I'm sure right now they'll be glad to go to the rear of the field on Sunday.
Just want to be in the field.
Not going to happen.
No, not going to do it here, it doesn't look like.
Will not be fast enough. Max Pappas will go home. Dave Blaney is locked into the field. And we're down to 1. Brad Keselowski.
Let go of me, Phil. Let go of me. About to choke me to death.
Brad is on the bubble, 23.64. The one driver left with a shot to get in the field, Tony Raines, the Long John Silver Chevy. Started 13th last fall here for Newman, for what was then Haas Racing. And he's trying to make his 5th start of 09. He's got to beat a 23.64. And in practice, Raines had a 23.52.
Darryl, the thing to think about, I don't know that we stress it enough. When you go green and you're locked in, here it's about $70,000, $75,000. If you go red and you don't race, you get a thank you note and a tire bill.
Yeah, no kidding. Good point.
Keselowski looking on. It's Keselowski or Raines. And it will be...
I believe Tony has beat him. Tony
Raines
beat him.
Yep. 23.60.
See Brad marching out of the garage. Not a happy camper. Yeah, Larry, the top 36 drivers have made $1 million this year already.
So that's not bad just to start.
And we're only a third of the way through the season. Do the math.
David Rudiman, 3rd career pole in 76 races. Casey Kane, best start since his pole at Infineon Raceway last June. Dick?
With David Rudiman, and when you think about it, just 2 years ago, David Rudiman was struggling just to qualify for these races, missing about a quarter of them. Now you've got the trophy from one of NASCAR's biggest races as the winner of that trophy. 2nd pole this year. To what do you attribute the turnaround?
I mean, I think a lot of it's got to go to everybody that Michael Waltrip Racing to start with, and they're giving us great cars, giving us really, really good cars. My crew chief, Rodney Childers, making some really, really good, obviously made a great decision last week, and we unloaded with a great Aaron's Dream machine this weekend. And, you know, Toyota Racing Development, guys at TRD like Jeff Opel and those guys who bring us good horsepower each and every week. You know, those are what, you know, all that stuff starts to add up to big, you know, things on the racetrack. And plus having the old Aaron's Dream machine and having Aaron's, they're, you know, that's invaluable. We can't do it without them.
And all this couldn't happen to a nicer guy, Mike.
David Rudiman will start from the pole on Sunday in the Autism Speaks 400 presented by Hell of a Good. And we'll have more from Dover after this.
Presented by Advance Auto Parts. Keep the wheels turning. Wrecked. Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed.
It gives the world fewer smog-forming emissions. It gives you a 50 mile per gallon rating. The 3rd generation Prius. It's harmony between man, nature, and machine.
Racing fans like to act fast. Book early and get Travelodge's best offer of the year. Book now and save a quick 20%. Get your getaway in gear. Save 20% now at Travelodge.com.
This is racing, y'all. Sometimes you gotta trade a little paint.
Introducing Amp Energy's Trade and Paint. Orange, berry, and lime slammed together for a limited time. From Amp Energy.
Dale Jr.
Amp up.
This is where everything you love about racing all comes together at once. This is the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series.
It's the perfect storm of danger and speed. Don't miss the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series in Speed HD. From Dover, tonight, 8 Eastern. NASCAR on Speed. Be there.
Thursday, get hooked with 2 all-new episodes of Wrecked.
We're trying to get the truck stabilized.
A series of rollovers forces O'Hare to risk life and limb. Wrecked, Life in the Crash Lane. Thursday beginning at 10 Eastern. Presented in Speed HD.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Who will tame the Monster Mile? David Rudiman is the 34th driver in 79 races to win a pole at Dover. Nobody's won from the pole since Ryan Newman in 2003.
Pretty good parity in the top 5, Larry, every manufacturer.
But we talked about it. Richard Petty Motorsports, all 4 cars in the top 10.
That's big.
Average starting position of 5 for Richard Petty Motorsports. Average starting position this season so far, 25.
I know we talked about Brad Keselowski missing the show in a Hendrick car, but it was an interesting day for Hendrick Motorsports. You had Jimmy Johnson that's 8, and then you look back there, you got Dale Earnhardt Jr. that's 22nd, Mark Martin 28th, and Jeff Gordon crashed, did not complete his qualifying lap.
You know, in the last 19 Dover races, spring races, there's only been one repeat winner, and that was Jeff Gordon. He's going to have a tough time doing it from 20 or 42nd position.
In a backup.
However, 3 races this year have been won by drivers who came from the rear with backup cars or engines.
A little bit more misery for Hendrick Motorsports. The 25 doesn't make the race.
Right, yeah.
Didn't have a good day.
You'll see Tony on trackside later tonight. David Rudiman, congratulations. He wins the Coors Light pole for Sunday's race.
Backed right into it, didn't he?
Boy, lucky.
500 laps. We're going to make the ball today. Nobody better around the end of you, man. Green.
Some guys will hit it. Some guys will miss it.
It's not easy out here. I'd say it is, man. One lane. Yellow is out. Get the bottom. Need a leader? Yes, sir. That's the leader. Well, there he goes. They're going to put the hammer down. Everyone's as good as us. Say goodnight, Gracie.
He is a minute.
Yes.
It all rides on the last 10 laps. The last few movements to prove that you're the best on the track. Whether you win or lose will be determined by split-second decisions.
Earnhardt goes off in the grass, brings the car back out of the speedway and keeps it in a straight line.
Or the precision movements of your crew when you pit in. It's gonna measure your guts and luck, your speed and your sanity, your passion and drive working overtime.
Here comes Davey Allison to the bottom. It'll be the finish. Everyone was waiting for it. He crashed past the finish line.
Find the line, make the pass. This is the All-Star race, where NASCAR greats will be putting pedal to metal, feeling the hum of engines rumble inside their bodies like high-octane earthquakes, shaking the yellow walls as they tear down the straightaway last year. Casey Kane drove right here to victory lane.
Thanks to the fans. We didn't even make the damn race without the fans.
So I wonder, will the fans vote again for the right driver to pull off the NASCAR win? This is what 25 years of the best racing underneath the lights, beneath the cosmic flash of distant stars, here in Charlotte, the Queen City, where we will crown our next king of the All-Stars.
For 25 years, the All-Star race has been a time for stock car stars to shine. Teams convene for a showdown of racing's best. In a sport that focuses on car and driver, the All-Star race is an annual reminder of the total team effort it takes to be counted as one of NASCAR's finest.
Motor Speedway, that's the kind of fireworks they expect in the running of this Sprint All-Star race. So it's big time here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Let's go out there and have some fun tonight. Great job and congratulations to everybody. I'm sitting on the pole. That was a total team effort. I couldn't be prouder of this. What everybody did yesterday. Drivers, guys preparing the car, everybody back at the shop.
One for the $1 million. We're on $1 million on 3. 1, 2, 3. Million!
As we close it on the start, drivers are in their cars trackside, and we're getting ready for the command to fire the engines and get them underway here tonight, as one driver will leave the Lowe's Motor Speedway with $1 million in his pocket.
There they are. 21 of America's best will run 150 miles, that's 100 laps, in 4 segments. The first segment, 50 laps. And after you complete lap 25, you must then come to pit road for a 4-tire change. Johnson has elected to start this race from the outside of the front row.
The green flag fell. Flashbulbs popped to life. And All-Stars streaked into the Charlotte night.
Sometimes the best way to get closer is to get as far away from it all as possible. Don't let erectile dysfunction get in the way. Viagra, America's most prescribed ED treatment, can help you enjoy a more satisfying sexual experience. Ready to talk to your doctor? Find out how at Viagra.com. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease in vision or hearing. 20 million men have had the Viagra conversation. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
Well, I was down on my luck. I was paying too much for my auto insurance claim. Well, I was singing the blues till I heard the news. Esurance, you saved the day. Well, it's easy for me to help save some trees, 'cause the paperwork's overrated. With Esurance, I get animated. Yeah, 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 yeah. I get animated. Yeah, 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 yeah. I get animated.
On the track, we get the most performance out of our cars. On the street, you can do the same. Change your oil, spark plugs, and filters. Test your tires for proper inflation. And have your battery checked.
If we can do it in our garage, just think what you can do in yours.
NASCAR reminds you, now more than ever.
Take care of your car, and it'll take care of you.
Lap 1 would feature 1 pack leader, 1 lone wolf, and 1 lucky dog.
Look at those hound dogs. Who's that way up on the outside? Of course, it's Kyle Busch. 3 wide. Jimmy Johnson is going to lead the first lap of the Sprint All-Star race.
Good job, bro.
Far behind the 48, the 14 fought through the field.
I tell you, a car that's on the move, Tony Stewart, started back in 15th. He just cracked the top 10, moved in the 10th of that 14 car.
Start off a little bit free and starting to come to it now.
Jimmy Johnson with a 2-second lead.
The caution flag is going to come out, and everybody will have to come to pit road.
This is an intermission. It's an intermission. This is just a yellow flag pit stop here, bud. 10 laps to the end, right? We got 2 20-lap segments. We go. Man, we do 20 laps now, another caution, another 20, and then the intermission.
Whatever the math, the 48 was number 1 in segment 1.
Coming onto pit road right now as they exit turn number 4, the smoke blowing off the tires as they lock up the brakes. Everyone's slowing down the pit road speed as they come in for this mandatory stop.
Jimmy Johnson had led every lap in the first segment, but as teams came down pit road, strategic planning and unplanned mistakes would reshuffle the running order.
2, 1, 4 tires. 2, 1. Wheel straight, foot on the brake. Back him up, back him up. All the way out, all the way out, all the way to the line. Go, 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 one lane, one lane.
Jimmy Johnson leads the race off pit road.
Ryan radioed in, said something is broken in the front end. They're not exactly sure if they've broken a shock absorber, perhaps a shock mount, but something definitely broken in the front end of that U.S. Army Chevrolet.
In the closing laps of the first segment, Ryan Newman was one lap down and struggling not to lose another. By battling Jimmy Johnson and keeping him in his rearview mirror, the 39 would receive the lucky dog and receive his lap back, putting him back onto the lead lap.
Ready to pit here, guys. 4 tires, raise panel bar 2 around. Some of these guys are talking 4, Kyle. Since it went green the whole way, we probably ought to do 4. What do you think?
Pit road is now open, and it looks like the entire field is going to take advantage of it as they swing down to make their second pit stop of the night.
2. Wheel straight, foot on the brake. Go, 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 go. All the way.
But Kyle Busch, 2 tires and fuel, he gets off first.
After overshooting his first pit stop, his second stop shot Kyle Busch into the lead. Could the Lone Wolf finish as the lead dog?
When the work week ends, the NASCAR action revs up in Dover with the ultimate Friday night house party.
I would drive anything if it was fast.
Don't miss NASCAR Trackside tonight, 7 Eastern. NASCAR on speed. Be there.
Yo, I think we better get out of here. The zoo guys just showed up.
Big freaking deal. These guys look like a bunch of pansies. Oh, man.
Damn, you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Come celebrate Papa John's 25th anniversary with 25-cent pizza. Just go to papajohns.com, order a large 2-topping pizza at our regular low price, and get a large pizza for just 25 cents. 25 cents online.
Now that's something to celebrate.
Looking for fun? Let's bowl! Harvest Park Bowl in Brentwood has got fun every day of the week, and our fun is affordable. From birthday parties to company outings to Brentwood Rocks, there's fun for everyone. Harvest Park Bowl gives the best birthday parties and packages, including bowling, shoes, invitations, pizza, soda, and more. And best of all, we clean up. Harvest Park Bowl is clean, bright, family-friendly, and did we mention fun? What are you waiting for? Let's bowl at Harvest Park Bowl in Brentwood.
High-speed internet, ecstatic, happy, high-tech, automatic, fiber optics, flabbergasted, suddenly it's crazy faster, friend edition, hip-hop, hipster, OMG, your profile picture, upload, download, films, games, music, pug dog pictures, power boosted, fastest flying, screaming, yelling, ROTF, LOLing, speeding forward, future hopping, always dreaming, never stopping, COMCAST.
Kyle Busch started segment 2 in front and never looked back.
It's just time and time again with this race car, particularly on mile-and-a-half racetracks, whomever gets out front checks out.
My off is better this time. I don't have any loose off. I just tight. All right.
Tony Stewart just put 2 in the grass to get alongside Logano coming out of turn 4 and through the quad oval.
The 18 dominated segment 2, leading all 20 laps.
70 laps are complete. We've got 30 to go. One more 20-lap segment, and then the one everybody's really waiting to see is what happens in the final 10 laps here at Lowe's Motor Speedway.
Kyle, the track position is big. None of them guys with tires team. What do you think? Well, everybody that just took 4 has got to do 2, so we got to do 2 again, man. Stay out if a lot of them, most everybody comes. I do. I want you to stay out. No matter what happens, just stay out. When you come to run 5th. 5th in this race don't mean nothing. The only way we're going to win is to stay out. 10-4. 4 is still the magic number. Copy that. All right, dude. We're staying.
Let's see who the gamblers are, if any.
I guarantee you there'll be more gamblers this time than there was the last time. In fact, we got some of them now staying out.
The big fake job by Kyle Busch and Matt Kenseth.
And Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, McMurray, Stewart, Burton, Biffle.
Couldn't tell there. They all were down there like they were coming. Yeah, 10-4. I think it was only 2 in front of you there. It's all right.
It wasn't a typical all-star race. You had to run a 20-lap segment, and a lot of guys didn't come in and pit, and a lot of guys, I think 8 of us didn't pit, and a bunch of guys, the rest of the field came in and either got 2 tires or fuel and went back out.
Kyle Busch, Matt Kenseth, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Kurt Busch, Tony Stewart. Those are the top half dozen.
Oh, trouble spinning. One car is up and down the wall. A couple of cars now banging the outside barrier.
And I got squeezed into the wall. I don't feel any smoke or anything, or see any smoke. My right side of it pretty good. To the garage, to the garage. We got a little bit of work to do for the 600. 24 lagging back. Ready? Almost there. Green flag.
Boy, Matt didn't get much of a restart there.
And I think Jeff Gordon in that 24 car is going to take advantage.
Mark Martin, big bobble in turn 1. Goes all the way up the bank. 4 or 5 cars are going to touch underneath it.
Just you two.
Kyle Busch still leads, although Jeff Gordon is starting to close in.
Corner down here. Just him. It's all right.
Boy, something just happened with the 18.
Jeff Gordon wants to lead it over.
Something's wrong with the 18. He just going down the back just then. Something happened.
That is the first green flag lead change of the night. And Big Daddy, Jeff Gordon, has gone to the front in his DuPont Chevy.
8-4 to the break.
Kyle just trying to make that Toyota work wherever it can.
I'm not sure what happened, but something happened to the 18 car. And now he's getting passed by Matt Kenseth here.
Haven't heard much from Tony so far tonight, but he's looking for a spot now in the top 5. He follows in the tire tracks, and Jimmy Johnson trails him by about a car length midway on the back stretch.
Got one more lap.
Jeff Gordon comes down to the line, and he will win this 3rd segment by 3 full seconds over Matt Kenseth. Boy, that car is strong.
Around the 2. Right here. Right here. Whoa, inside. All right, you can clear the back up. I have reverse.
We made a few mistakes with some of the changes we made. We were able to take those out since we had the 10-minute break. And then we made a lot of other changes of things we probably wouldn't have ever done, but we knew we had to just give Tony everything he needed for comfort to be able to take off for those last 10 laps.
For every team, it was the last stop before the last segment. The last chance to make the right call. To rise to the all-star moment at hand.
It's the perfect storm of danger and speed. Don't miss the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series in Speed HD. From Dover, tonight, 8 Eastern. NASCAR on Speed. Be there.
Wrecked. Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed.
Do you remember when you could actually see shooting stars and your nightlight was a jar full of fireflies? Then keep the tradition going at Bass Pro Shop's Family Summer Camp with free activities the whole family can enjoy. Details at basspro.com/camp.
There's something about the freshness of Ireland that brings out the lasses. Get that clean scent from head to toe with new Irish Spring hair and body for all over freshness. New Irish Spring hair and body. Yes, sir. Hair and body.
Yeah.
Looking for fun? Let's bowl! Harvest Park Bowl in Brentwood has got fun every day of the week, and our fun is affordable. From birthday parties to company outings to Brentwood Rocks, there's fun for everyone. Harvest Park Bowl gives the best birthday parties and packages, including bowling, shoes, invitations, pizza, soda, and more. And best of all, we clean up. Harvest Park Bowl is clean, bright, family-friendly, and did we mention fun? What are you waiting for? Let's bowl at Harvest Park Bowl in Brentwood.
High-speed internet, ecstatic, happy, high-tech, automatic, fiber optic, flabbergasted, suddenly it's crazy faster. Friend edition, hip-hop, hipster, OMG, your profile picture, upload, download, films, games, music, pug dog pictures, power boosted, fastest flying, screaming, yelling, ROTF, LOLing, speeding forward, future hopping, always dreaming, never stopping, COMCAST.
The 25th All-Star race would come down to one final lap. A 10-lap shootout to separate the best of the best from the rest of the best. The drama of the moment would weigh heavy on competitors.
10, green flag lap.
Look at that. Bush tried to time it. Matt Kenseth slammed the door on him.
But that hurt Matt so badly. He lost his momentum, and Kyle tried him again out there.
He went over there off
He's going to do it.
He's going to make
Jimmy gets turned.
Oh, no, Jimmy's around.
Yeah, Sam Linsley across start-finish line. Should be a complete restart.
The race would restart, but tempers were already running full throttle.
Go tell the 17 to calm the down, man. I didn't do anything wrong. I got a better start than he did. I can pass to the outside. No, I can't. That was my fault.
Yeah, David's complaining about him, but, you know, if they didn't throw the caution there, he would have got away with what he just did.
The battle began, and Kyle Busch attacked the front line.
There goes Kyle Busch is going to try to make it wide in the middle, and I think he's going to make it work.
I told you he would go in.
Adios, boys.
He got him a set of goodbyes on his part.
The 18 powered out front, but the 24 struck back. Door to door, two teams battling, until a lucky dog hunted down the lead.
Fight for the lead here. Here comes Gordon on the bottom. The 24 car, they're side by side. 8 to go. Drag race. 24. He's out there. Look at the run. That 39 car got it. I mean, he ran on some hard. He had to jump out of the gas 3 wide and 2. This is going to be tight right here. Man, he was 2 laps down almost.
Ryan Newman, he was gone, and when I saw him 3 wide for the lead off of 4, I thought, man, if they make it.
What the fans want to see, golf car race. They get together. Jeff Gordon spins to the inside. Ryan Newman goes to the lead. Gordon spins across the track. Crosses the start-finish line.
Yeah, let him tow it. It's steaming.
Jeff Gordon had started the shootout in search of his record 4th All-Star win. The 24 would finish in the garage. Who would finish the night in victory lane?
What project are you working on today?
This.
We can help you with that.
Thanks. I'm just starting out, so I'm kind of on a budget.
We're good with budgets. You'll need one of these, at least. Pit crew.
Okay.
Crew chief.
Cool.
Read this. And you'll need an owner. I recommend this one.
What about fans?
What do you say we start with 300,000 and go from there?
Whoa.
Helping people do more than they ever thought possible. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Want a shine that sticks? Get new Finish Cling Instant Detailer. Now enhance your car's shine between polishing. This unique no-drip formula clings to the surface for a brilliant shine in no time. Look, Cling doesn't run like other spray detailers and it lasts 3 times longer. So get new Finish Cling, the shine that sticks.
Enhance your car's shine with Cling Instant Detailer only at Walgreens Meyer AutoZone.
What's your pit type? Sweaty? Hairy? Sensitive? Introducing the first line of customized protection, New Speed Stick Pro. What's your pit type? It's a light.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
For great taste and fewer calories, make it Mike's. Mike's Light Hard Lemonade.
is the lifeblood of your engine, so change it out and keep it clean with Valvoline conventional motor oil and a Fram Extra Guard oil filter. Advance Auto Parts. That's keeping the wheels turning.
With 8 laps left in the All-Star race, Kyle Busch held the lead. Sitting in second, Ryan Newman had come from 1 lap back to reach the back bumper of the leader.
Well, get a good breath, because here we go.
It's 8 to go. These restarts are just action-packed. Well, he's bringing them down mighty slow. And he got a whale of a jump. Look at that. Timed it just right again.
Trailing Newman was his teammate and car owner, Tony Stewart. As the 39's tire was smoking, the man known as Smoke was burning rubber.
He's got tire rub.
Newman's got tire rub.
And here comes his owner teammate, Tony Stewart, in that 14 car. 7 to go.
We were really good on the bottom of the racetrack, and you know, Matt and Kyle had been running up higher, and when they were running side by side, we were able to run them down.
Toyota and Ford run 1 and 2, but don't look now. Here comes a red hot Chevy. Tony Stewart is there.
Hey, look at the smoke. Now he can run the bottom. And that was on the bottom. He got that run halfway down the back straightaway. Let's see who goes where.
Yellow.
Caution for why?
Somewhere right here. Debris in turn 3. Just under caution.
We gained a position both times when a caution came out, but since you revert back to the previous green flag lap, we lost both of those positions again when the yellow flag came out.
We will restart third inside. If we do get fortunate enough to get back in front, the 14 runs me down, let me know which lane he's running, okay, if we get singled out.
Here we go. 5 laps to go. Matt Kenseth brings him down. Green flag.
Kyle laid back a little bit too far, maybe. He tried to get a run on Matt, but Matt took off better than I think Kyle thought he would.
14, 1 back. Try to pin him down here. Clear by 3.
There comes Stewart in the 14, trying to get back to second down the back straightaway.
We were able to get by Kyle and run Matt down in a lap. I thought we really got a shot if we can just find a spot that he's weak and we're strong.
4 to go.
I don't think Tony Stewart would be shy about using the front bumper of that car. I can tell you that. Not for $1 million in his first win.
We went into turns 1 and 2 and got underneath him. We were side by side with him down the back, and I tried to beat him into 3 and drove in too hard and got loose, and he got back by.
Got loose on the high side, but Stewart's not going to give up.
We come back down the front straightaway, go into turn 1, and he runs the bottom, and I'm like, oh, we'll never get a shot at getting back to him.
Stewart would stay in the groove and stay focused.
Tony fought really, really hard. He really needed the bottom line to make it work. And luckily, Kenseth got just tight enough where he was drifting up the track and gave Tony that bottom line. He was able to just drive right under.
And Stewart got him! He got him!
Bye-bye.
Clear.
Adios, amigos! You're sitting there looking out your windshield, you see $1 million driving away from you. What a great accomplishment for Tony Stewart, this team, that organization. Who would have thunk it?
After self-inflicting a penalty on his pit stop, Tony makes $1 million.
Job, guys. Woo! Got us one. Damn it, it's about time. Woo!
Such an awesome feeling. I mean, to win our first race as an owner-driver.
For Tony Stewart, a new team ushered in the start of new traditions and an end to old habits.
Hey, let's climb this fence. Let's climb the fence, baby. Hell with that fence, man. I'm too old, too fat for that. Let's just have fun with this one.
So his crew will climb the fence for him.
2009 was expected to be an uphill climb for Tony Stewart and Stewart-Haas Racing. Instead, the 14 clawed their way to victory lane. For a veteran driver of a first-year team, everything was new again.
We knew that it was going to be an uphill battle and that it was going to take some time. And we felt like that this team had the capability of doing this, but I don't think any of us anticipated it was going to happen this soon and gel so quickly. All these people that believed in us and gave us an opportunity to do what we're doing, and most of all to see the smile on the faces of guys on our team that we know had never been to victory lane before tonight, and to see how excited they were when we got there, and to see how happy they were to finally be in victory lane for the first time. That meant the world to us tonight.
In their inaugural season, the plan for Stewart-Haas Racing was to take baby steps. On All-Star Night in Charlotte, one small step became one giant leap. For a team fueled by a belief in one another, the 14 turned NASCAR dreams into racing reality and turned a veteran driver and a fledgling crew into all-star champions.
For all the marbles.
Here we go. And here goes Michael Waltrip for the lead.
Michael Waltrip, I love you, buddy. I love you. You boys did a hell of a job. Hell of a job. Great.
What a super run for the Wood Brothers boys.
For 11 years, Michael Waltrip's Cup career was out of rhythm.
This ain't no thinking thing.
In 1996, he would finally find harmony.
I never envisioned in 1981 when I started racing my mini stock at Kentucky Motor Speedway that it would turn out to be anything. You know, I just wanted to race. I wanted to get in my car and go race, and I was good at it. And so then I thought, well, I can win.
The checkered flag is waiting, and Michael Waltrip wins in the car owned by his brother.
And then the next thing I know, I'm starting my first Cup race in 1985 at Charlotte. I don't really know how this is all going to work out, but I just want to race. To fast forward from 85, when I just was trying to get my legs under me and get an opportunity, to even be driving for the Wood Brothers in 96 was, who would have envisioned that?
We'd known Michael for a long, long time because he actually lived with Kyle while Kyle was driving our car. So we knew Michael when he first came around.
Michael was, like for us, was going with a younger driver. We'd had Morgan Shepherd for 4 years, and it was like, we're going to try something different. So.
From our studios in Charlotte, I'm Alan Bestwick here with our panel of drivers to pick apart the 600 and the other weekend happenings in racing. Joining me, Johnny Benson, driver of the Pennzoil Pontiac, Ken Schrader, driver of the Budweiser Chevy, and Michael Waltrip, driver of the Citgo Ford.
The show that is now twin and still airs on Speed today was the brainchild of Bob Scanlon. He wanted to have guys that were actually in the race go to the studio on Monday and talk about the race. So he picked me and Schrader and Johnny Benson.
Says it should be a real good car again, though, because that's the car he knocked the front end off at Atlanta after he sat it on the pole. So.
And we didn't do a show in 01, but every other year since 1996 we've had a show. We just loved showing up on Monday and making fun of each other and just hanging out and having a good time. Even up till today, the show is still something that I really look forward to doing every Monday, and recap the weekend, and just being a part of the Speed family means the world to me.
Waltrip was high on life, but his career was like a lead balloon. The 33-year-old had never won a cup race. To compete in the All-Star race, Waltrip would first have to advance out of the Open qualifier.
It's not impossible, obviously, at this level, if you're good enough to beat the guys or transfer in from the showdown into the big show. If your car is good enough to transfer in, as competitive as things are in cup racing, then you're good enough to win the All-Star race.
When the work week ends, the NASCAR action revs up in Dover with the ultimate Friday night house party.
I would drive anything if it was fast.
Don't miss NASCAR Trackside tonight, 7 Eastern. NASCAR on Speed. Be there.
I saw this ad on television. If you lose your job, they take your car back. I think that sounds like the worst day ever. At Saturn, we wouldn't do that. If you buy a new Saturn and lose your job, we'll make your payments for up to 9 months. We'll even help protect its value at trade-in time. It's all part of something we're calling Saturn Total Confidence. We've been doing right by people since day one. Learn more at SaturnConfidence.com. Get 0% APR for 60 months on most 09 vehicles.
Okay, I get it. These 10 sprinkles represent our friends and family. The 10 people we can call whatever network they're on without using our minutes.
That's included, no extra cost.
Then these would be like 80 million people on Verizon Wireless we can also call?
Yep, also included.
Huh.
Do you want whipped cream?
Save minutes and money with Verizon Wireless. Unlimited calling to 10 out-of-network numbers, even landlines. Plus, get America's largest mobile-to-mobile calling family. And now get a Samsung Alias 2 for $79.99 and get up to 4 phones free.
He's a leader.
He is, Dad.
Still talking about the military?
Non-stop.
You still against it?
I've moved to open-minded.
Really?
Well, he can be convincing.
So, what next?
I keep listening.
I'm impressed. With both of you.
What's your favorite race?
My favorite race? The ones that leave me feeling upside down.
Night race at Bristol. Every year.
20 years. I can think of about 84.
Darlington.
Richmond.
Daytona 500, 1998. And man, it felt good.
The one that's about to start.
I like the one with lots of wrecks.
My favorite race? Whichever one's next. This is my NASCAR.
This is your NASCAR.
This is our NASCAR.
For every Cup driver who had not won a points race over the past season, the All-Star Open was their only path into the main event. The top 5 cars qualified, making the battle for 5th every bit as intense as the fight for first.
In '96, there was 15 cars qualified for the Winston when we went to Charlotte. So that meant there were going to be 5 spots out of the Open that transferred to the Winston.
Pace car hangs a left down onto pit lane. 38 cars ready to go racing in the Winston Select Open.
And a jam-packed crowd ready to see it. They come down to the line. Green flag is in the air, and on the brake, Lake Speed gets a good jump. He will pull out front in clean air all by himself. In fact, the front 2 nose to tail get away from everybody else as they move to turn 2.
Lake Speed shows the way, tries to stretch out his lead over Dick Trickle, but Trickle will have nothing to do with that. He's right up on the bump of the Speed. Greg Bodine is third. The race now for 4th on the back straightaway.
Eric Pope dives down to the inside of the racetrack. He'll dust off Johnny Benson and land in line as they head into turn number 3. Everybody single file in about the front 10. A good battle for 11th, 12th, and 13th shaping up as they hit the front straightaway. Spencer's car works well up high. He'll swing out wide off the turn.
Spencer really taking a big gamble trying to get around on the outside. He's going to make it work. He's got a fender alongside Lake Speed. That's going to be for the lead as they go back down into turn number 1. Spencer's got it.
And if you're not familiar, at the risk of being redundant, only the top 5 finishers will advance into the Winston Select. Spencer, Speed, Strickland, Jeff Burton, and the 21 car of Michael Waltrip holding those spots right now as you see the rundown.
We were struggling in the Open, and I was running 5th, with just a few laps to go, and Johnny Benson, who was driving my old car, the 30 Pennzoil car that I used to drive, kept catching me. I mean, he's getting closer and closer and closer, and I'm like, I need to hang on to this 5th spot. I love the All-Star race. I got to be in it.
I knew that it was really close on getting in, and like I say, he fought tooth and nail just about with Johnny Benson.
When he caught me, I changed my line a little bit, and I put a couple car links on him. Then I changed my line a little bit more, and I was able to drive away from him somewhat. And so I was real lucky.
Jimmy Spencer muscled his way from 15th starting spot to the front on lap 31. He wins the Winston Select Open. Lake Speed finishes second, 2 car lengths behind. Hutch Strickland will get third. Jeff Burton takes fourth, and Michael Waltrip will finish fifth, the final driver to transfer into the All-Star race.
While Jimmy Spencer drove into the winner's circle, the other 4 qualifiers went back to work.
Take a little wedge out of this thing. Hit it with a torque wrench to make sure everything's cool. Were you looser in this run than you were last night?
And we were way off, so they're going to do a lot of stuff to it. You can make adjustments before you get in this race, correct? Yeah, we're going to pull the rubber out of the right front, pull one on the right rear, raise the track bar, pull the fenders out, take wedge out, and change the air pressure. So that ought to do something, don't you think?
You can't change springs, shocks, or anything like that. So we were putting rubbers in each coil spring to have an adjustment, and that's basically all we did. And
we were sitting over at the gas pumps, the Unical station, you know, so it wasn't like you had scale pads set up to redo the car. I mean, it was all like, you know, like we got to get it back in line and get out to start-finish line.
Yeah, because they were introducing people as we were getting our car ready. You know, Michael had already went out there to be introduced.
This Thursday, get hooked with 2 all-new episodes of Wrecked.
We're running into afternoon rush hour, and we've got a ramp block.
A series of dangerous rollovers.
Come down the ramp too fast.
We're trying to get the truck stabilized.
Forces O'Hare to risk life and limb.
Well, right now my blood pressure is 10,000 over 500. If you're not a little nervous, then you're not doing something right.
Wrecked, Life in the Crash Lane. All new back-to-back episodes. Thursday beginning at 10 Eastern. Presented in Speed HD.
Is the lifeblood of your engine, so change it out and keep it clean with Valvoline conventional motor oil and a Fram Extra Guard oil filter. Advance Auto Parts. That's keeping the wheels turning.
What your engine feels, you feel. And when it's running clean, you feel it. Which is why we developed full synthetic Pennzoil Platinum with active cleansing agents that clean out up to 46% of sludge in your first oil change and continue to clean in your next change. Pennzoil Platinum Motor Oil, our ultimate clean for your ultimate feeling. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
At Michelin, each tire goes through a series of rigorous tests, including a thorough hand inspection. Michelin, a better way forward. To take advantage of special spring offers from Michelin, visit www.michelinman.com to find a dealer near you.
As night fell over Charlotte, the stars came out. The 1996 All-Star race would consist of 2 30-lap segments, followed by 1 10-lap shootout. If the format was confusing, the goal was not. Be the first car across the finish.
We started, dead last. Like there was the 5 cars that made the transfer were the last 5 cars. So, we just want to make sure we was ready to go when they fired them off, and we were.
Yeah, we felt comfortable with it, but did we think we could win the race at that point? Not really.
Gentlemen, start your engine. Time to show what you got.
That's it, show time.
This is the 30-lap segment, the first of 2 of those to be followed by a 10-lap segment. Elmo Langley gets out of the way in a hurry. He wants to watch this start, too. Here we go. The Winston Select is underway in Charlotte.
first segment of the All-Star race, I was passing a lot of cars. Liked my car, was fast, was able to drive up through there. In fact, drove from 20th to 10th. And every car that I would pass after 6 or 8, Eddie would come on the radio and say, you know they're going to invert, and if you pass them now, you got to pass them again.
He was clicking them off. You know, he was passing a lot of people, and I remember reminding him, I said, we may not want to get all the way up there, you know, invert's going to be. And he came back and said he didn't care, he liked passing cars. So I said, okay, go for it.
The battle for the lead as you see it from high above the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Dale Jarrett grabs the lead.
Dale Jarrett took the lead and kept it. But with an upcoming field inversion, finishing first would mean starting last in the next segment.
Dale he's in a different area code right now. He's checked out and gone. Working through turn 4 and back to the straight. $50,000 for that man, Dale Jarrett.
My strategy simply was to learn about my car. You know, I had those first 20, 30 laps, whatever it was, to put my car in some tight positions to figure out how it would handle. And I was able to pass half the field, went from 20th to 10th. And I figured, all right, I started 20th and I got to 10th. Maybe if I start 10th, over the next couple of segments, I can get to first. So that was my strategy. I knew that I had pushed my car hard, and I knew what it did when I pushed it, and then therefore I knew what to tell the Wood brothers I thought for adjustments or what we could do to be even better yet.
Might want to move that left in too. I mean, the other night when we did it, it was a big change. Rubber or not? Guys, change those tires. Y'all got another fan we blowing the driver. Back where it was in practice. Pull that right front fender in half.
We adjusted on the car every stop and got it better. I think that basically he was just too tight all night, you know, and then it was getting, you know, it was getting darker and the track was getting cooler and all that. And so, you know, it was a matter of just kept freeing it up, and he liked that.
Pace car with them in tow, about to drop off the banking up in turn number 4, getting ready to cut them loose for the second 30-lap segment. Darrell Waltrip and Harry Gant up on the front row. Green flag is in the air. Throttles come up to full power, and they set sail for turn 1. Harry Gant ducks out front all by himself. Won't stay that way very long. In turn 1, they could get 3 wide.
Harry Gant shows the way. Here they come into the corner. Terry Labonte drops in behind him. He's in second. The race for third. It's Ricky Rudd hooked up underneath Darrell Waltrip. Ricky goes by to take the third spot. Now on the move is Dale Earnhardt to the inside of the racetrack. He gets by Lake Speed. Now sets his sight on the 4th place car. Darrell Waltrip drops down to the inside of the racetrack to defend, but Earnhardt is strong. He looks down low.
At the head of the pack, it is Harry Gant going to lead lap number 31, but now here's Terry Labonte to his inside. Meanwhile, Rusty Wallace 3 wide, back to about the 7th spot. Get to the inside of Jeff Bodine and Jimmy Spencer. Dale Earnhardt's going to set his sights on 2nd place down to the inside.
Earnhardt's got the lane down to the inside. He'll pick up the spot. He goes to the 2nd position.
Earnhardt flying. He is on a tear in this race.
Dale Earnhardt is there on the rear deck of Terry Labonte.
Earnhardt to the inside. The crowd rising as though a judge has just walked into the courtroom. And the new leader. The crowd response is just deafening here at Charlotte. There's that Wallace-Waltrip battle.
Yeah, well, he's running right now. He's moved right on the back bump of Wallace going down the back straightaway. He may be as fast as the lead car at this moment.
$50,000 for Dale Earnhardt.
We were racing Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace and Terry Labonte, I believe it was, you know. And all those were guys that were champions, you know.
Michael Waltrip was in championship form as teams came down pit road to make their final adjustments before the green flag fell on the decisive 10-lap shootout.
Left there. Still a little bit loose. It wasn't nothing like it was. Hey, it's been running about 180, running like that. You want to put the tape on it instead of taking the wedge out? Traffic. I mean, that thing is, you know, it's bouncing, and that just makes it worse. It's bouncing. So, just doing our tires like we talked about and don't change nothing else. 10 laps. What do you think? 10 laps.
They didn't let you do a lot to it. Most of the stuff you did was just instinct. That, you know, to get back out there and get lined up to where you were, you know, ready to go.
It's the perfect storm of danger and speed. Don't miss the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series in Speed HD. From Dover, tonight, 8 Eastern. NASCAR on Speed. Be there.
Want a shine that sticks? Get new Finish Cling Instant Detailer. Now enhance your car's shine between polishing. This unique no-drip formula clings to the surface for a brilliant shine in no time. Look, Cling doesn't run like other spray detailers and it lasts 3 times longer. So get new Finish Cling, the shine that sticks.
Enhance your car's shine with Cling Instant Detailer only at Walgreens Meyer AutoZone.
There's really probably only maybe 10 people in the world that on any given night would beat me in a fight. The other 6 billion people in the world won't stand a chance. Hi, my name is Frank Mir.
Echo Unlimited. Be unlimited.
Papa's in the house. Papa's got something for every taste. The meats, loaded with 5 real meats. Or our Tuscan 6 cheese. Your choice. Just $10.99 each or a large. That's right. Your choice. Only $10.99 each. NASCAR on Speed. Be there.
Okay, be ready, man. Be ready to go here. So there's going to be 1 to go. NASCAR told him that it's going to give the green and the green grass. So be ready, sir.
In the final 10-lap shootout, even the biggest stars of the All-Star race felt the pressure.
10 laps for all the marbles. If there's a caution, another double file restart. The yellow flag laps will not count. And everybody, the capacity crowd here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, all on their feet, ready to witness this final sprint to the $200,000 victory.
You pay attention to what Earnhardt is. Remember how he jumped to start. Just like explained here on the start, okay? Time drop, beat on that start stripe there.
Thinking that we had lost third gear for some reason. So, okay, it's going to be a little iffy on this restart.
That pace car is getting ready to come off. Green flag, green flag.
Here we go, the final 10-lap shootout for $200,000 in bragging rights. Dale Earnhardt, the leader. Rusty Wallace is right behind him.
Yeah, there you go. Get running there. Well, they're all around, buddy. Come on.
Russian is on the speedway.
He's going to restart. Way parallel. Between 1 and 2, they're going to restart one more time.
When they started having the All-Star race, you pretty much knew there was going to be an aborted start. You know, the guy on the pole or the guy outside pole, he would try to do something to make it, to get an advantage and see if NASCAR would let it go. So Dale jumped a little bit, and on that start, Rusty went better than me, and so I shook out in 4th as we come off turn 2. They said, okay, that didn't work. I felt like it was key for me to get around Rusty and be on Dale and Terry, because generally it's hard to shake the guy on the inside, or the guy on the inside can't shake the guy on the outside because of the arrow. The guy on the outside will get on him and they'll get loose. And so I thought I had an advantage on Rusty to be on the outside, maybe get around him, get into that 3rd spot.
Don't start until it hits the grass, and do not pass until it hits start-finish line.
So we're going to try it again. The lights are out atop the safety car. Green flag. Good looking start that time.
Boy, I mean, that was 2 by 2 by 2 as they come by the flag stand that time. You see Terry Labonte holding on to that outside spot, actually pulling ahead of Earnhardt coming off turn 2.
I was able to jump a good start, run around the outside of turn 1 and 2 and clear Rusty. He had a lot of power. I was able to clear Rusty because of all the power I had, I think, and got right behind Dale and Terry coming around to complete the first lap of 10.
Michael Waltrip with a great drive in 3rd spot. Earnhardt being challenged by Terry Labonte on the outside. That's for the lead in turn 1.
Earnhardt's hooked up down the inside lane. Terry Labonte still handling well. They make contact. Labonte goes up the banking. It's Michael Waltrip, the beneficiary. He dives down low. Michael Waltrip's in the lead.
When we went down into turn 1, as you've seen 1,000 times, the guy on the inside, who's Dale Earnhardt, who doesn't know anything but wide open, he goes into turn 1 to the bottom. Terry's on the outside of him. Dale gets loose. They hit. And I just had a split second to make a decision on where to go or what to do. And
he came on the radio and he said, "Here we go," or something like that. I mean, he was like giving us a play-by-play as it was happening. He was really good about talking while things were going on, which was kind of cool.
8 to go.
Can Michael Waltrip come out of the open and win it?
this thing?
It's never been done before, but he is flying around the racetrack.
And that was probably the longest 8 laps in my whole life because, you know, I needed to be perfect. I had to hit my lines and drive it perfectly. And I also needed all those other people back there to behave themselves and not cause a caution, because then I would have been the guy on the inside and had to face all that for a restart.
Sunday, NASCAR Race Day drives into Dover.
It's a very groovy racetrack.
Find out what change will make racing at the Monster Mile even better. With Junior struggling, did Hendrick make the right call in replacing Tony Eury Jr.? And will the change get the 88 back on track in Dover? NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. Live coverage in Speed HD begins Sunday at 11:30 Eastern. And celebrate with us at 8 Eastern in NASCAR Victory Lane. NASCAR on Speed. Be there.
If you have a history of smoking and breathing problems, it could be COPD, which includes chronic bronchitis, emphysema, or both. Discover Spiriva, the only once-daily inhaled maintenance prescription that treats both forms of COPD. Spiriva significantly improves lung function to help you breathe better for a full 24 hours, and it's not a steroid. Spiriva does not replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden symptoms. Stop taking Spiriva and call your doctor if your breathing suddenly worsens, your throat or tongue swells, you get hives, or have vision changes or eye pain. Tell your doctor if you have glaucoma, problems passing urine, or an enlarged prostate, as these may worsen with Spiriva. Also, discuss the medicines you take, even eye drops. Side effects may include dry mouth, constipation, and trouble passing urine. So make a habit of breathing better with Spiriva.
There's something about the freshness of Ireland that brings out the lasses. Get that clean scent from head to toe with new Irish Spring hair and body for all over freshness. New Irish Spring hair and body. Yes, sir, hair and body.
Do you remember when taking a bath and going for a swim became the same thing for a few days? Then keep the tradition going at Bass Pro Shop's Family Summer Camp with free activities the whole family can enjoy. Get the details at basspro.com/camp.
Michael Waltrip has run 23 NASCAR Winston Cup races here in Charlotte. Michael has never finished better than third in a NASCAR Winston Cup race here.
And I think Michael was just in a zone that night because he'd never won a race, and it'd been a long time since we'd won a race. And I don't think he was going to be, you know, he was going to win the race.
He started last, he qualified through the heat race, and now Michael Waltrip is going to win the Winston Select. Michael Waltrip wins the All-Star race for the Wood Brothers.
How about the celebration? The Wood Brothers, Leonard, Glenn, Eddie, Terry Hall, the whole crew there.
Everything that I'd been through in my career, to be able to win the All-Star race and get to celebrate with the Wood Brothers, that was something that was really important to me because I respected them so much, and what they had accomplished and meant to the sport meant a lot to me, and to be able to stand up there with them side by side and enjoy a victory was awesome.
That was our biggest payday at that time, something like $211,000, something like that. So.
I think it was my brother's dance or something, I don't know. I look like an idiot.
That just proves that, you know, it ain't just one brother in his family can drive all the time, and he is my brother, by the way. Don't call him my son, he's my brother. And I knew that sooner or later he would step up, and I think the tables had turned.
You know, Darrell coming to Victory Lane, Dale Earnhardt coming there and congratulating me, that made it a really special time.
Dadgum, just didn't win, but congratulations to the Wood Brothers, and Michael, he's been trying a long time. I know they got to be overexcited about this.
The whole family was there, and I mean, it was just like a madhouse. And we did interviews until like 2 hours after the race, you know, that we hadn't been doing before.
Yeah, we were the last ones to leave Victory Lane. We actually sat down, and after everybody left, just sat there and said, I'm not going to leave. And we sat there. It was Lynn and myself and Michael. We sat there in Victory Lane till the last person left.
A funny thing happened in Victory Lane. I said I was going to build my mom and dad a house with the money I won. I won $212,000, I think. I got half of that, which is 106, and then the government got 30 or 40% of that, which was left me 50 or 60 or 70, and the house cost 110. So I won the race and went $40,000 in debt. It was worth it. I got that trophy still, and my mom and dad's house is right next door to me, and my mom lives there today.
It helped our confidence, Michael's confidence, that, you know, we'd all made the right decision by getting together. And everything was really, you know, really went well that year.
We had some other really good runs during the course of the year. Wound up finishing 12th in the points and was competitive, but never could quite step up and get a win on Sunday. To look forward from when I did win the All-Star race to where I am now, no, I would have never guessed it. 2 Daytona 500 wins, getting to drive for Dale Earnhardt. Now having the opportunity to own my own team, it's been a very, very interesting and fun ride, you know, and I got to do all these things and have all this fun because I could drive a race car. And I don't take that for granted. That isn't something that I learned how to do. That's something that God blessed me with. And it all comes down to just getting in the seat of a race car and mashing the gas, and it's worked out for me pretty well over the years.
They almost get together right there, and there's the pass to lead. Welcome to Dover International Speedway, and welcome to the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series AAA Insurance 200 qualifying on speed. Tonight, the race will be on these extremely difficult banked tracks, the Monster Mile, Dover International Speedway. 8 o'clock it all kicks off, so make sure to stay with us all day right here on Speed. I don't think there's enough words to use to describe this racetrack, and right there I couldn't think of any of them. They talk about this being a monster of a racetrack. And the other story I think in the garage from yesterday's practice was the tires are wearing a lot again here at this track.
Well, you have that every year, and it seems to improve as time goes forward. These trucks are going to qualify. There's going to be some nationwide practice. There's going to be cup practice. So there's a lot that will go on that will improve the tire wear. But one thing that won't change, Rick, is the commitment that you have to make in order. These guys just got out of bed, and they're getting ready to roll off and try to run down around 23 seconds flat in a truck at Dover. You know, commitment requires trust. You got to trust that this thing is going to stick when you get to the corner, and that's what they will do. They will not go in the corner and fill the truck so much. They're going to go down in there and say, you better not be lying to me. You're telling me you're going to stick. You better stick, because that's what it's going to take to qualify up front right now.
I've always loved this racetrack because it's a lot like Bristol, except a lot faster. We see all drivers love Bristol because they can attack that racetrack and you can make a difference. It's really the same thing here. I know I've gone out before to make a 2-lap qualifying run and come in out of breath.
Yeah, and
we run 400 or 500 miles here, but you're out of breath after 2 laps because that's what it takes, trying to get every inch, and you forget to breathe because you're concentrating so hard, and you have to attack this track, and it's so aggressive to try to get around this thing, as Mikey said, in the low 23-second bracket.
And what's funny, the crew will say, what happened? How was it? And you'll go, I'm going to need a second.
Let me catch my thoughts.
There's a lot that went on in that little bit of time, and I'll get right back with you as soon as I sort it all out.
Yeah, remember, it's a mile, and they're going a mile's distance in 23 seconds, so very intense for the drivers. One of the drivers standing by with Ray Dunlap.
And that would be the youngin' Todd Bodine. The guys in the booth are talking about the commitment it takes to do a qualifying lap here at Dover. How about that?
Yeah, especially now. I don't quite understand it. The track and the trucks are a lot faster than they've ever been here. Yesterday in our qualifying runs, we were barely lifting off the throttle, almost running around here wide open. I know Kyle was, you know how crazy he is. He run wide open, I'm sure, but it's incredible how well these trucks are sticking, how good the tires are. The one thing that we're all really worried about, and I was just talking to Kyle, usually this racetrack will take rubber in practice. Even the short practice that we have, it'll take rubber. And, you know, we always cord our right side tires. Well, the racetrack didn't take any rubber. And we're all worried that, you know, 25 laps into the race, if the rubber doesn't get down with the Nationwide and the Cup Series, that we're going to be cording right side tires right away. And that's a scary situation. But, you know, it's just so fast that it's really amazing what, you know, like I say, the commitment. I mean, you got to haul down in there and say, I'm not going to lift all the way. And that's pretty hard to do.
Todd, we're early in the season, obviously, but 3 consecutive races for you and your team outside of 15th. That's not real good. Have you guys got it figured out?
Well, there wasn't much to figure out. You know, Martinsville, we just got caught up with a wreck, but the last 2, I got sucked around on the speedway races. You know, the aerodynamics of these trucks are so sensitive, and when you get somebody to your outside, there's no aero to help hold the truck, and we're going so fast that it just sucks you around. And I mean, that's what happened both times. We've kind of looked at that truck. It was the same truck both times. We looked at it, looked at the aero numbers. Feel like we think we figured out what the problem with it was. This truck is quite a bit different, so we'll see. Hopefully, you know, everybody at Germain Racing's done such a great job, and to have Copart come on to help us out for a few races here, it's been great. And you know, our motto there is never give up. We ain't gonna give up.
All right, Todd Bodine currently 5th in points. Now let's go back to AA.
Ron Hornaday having no problems in 2009 and no problems here at Dover. 1st in practice 1 yesterday, 2nd in practice number 2, and you guys didn't do a qualifying run. So how anxious are you for this session?
Well, I don't know. You know, it just the way it rained last night and all that stuff. So we'll see if qualifying gets off. We're going out 19th, so it'll be a little better track than poor JR. He goes out first, so I don't want to be the guy going out first.
Hornaday, no stranger to success at this racetrack, and if practice means anything, he should be good again today.
Ron Hornaday leading our points coming into this, the 7th race of the 2009 season. J.R. Fitzpatrick first to go out onto the racetrack. We heard Ron Hornaday saying, I wouldn't want to be the first guy out there.
So when I talked about trust and commitment, it's 10 times for JR. He doesn't have anything to lean up against. He hadn't seen a truck make it around here yet. At least when he goes, if he makes 2 laps, everybody's going to say, well, at least he made it. It make it a little bit easier to trust his truck.
First start for Kevin Harvick Incorporated. JR is going to run a handful of races, also running some nationwide races this year for Kevin Harvick. So, you know, he wants to do well here, and so far so good. He's made it through a couple corners.
Yeah, I see a little bit of moisture on some of the cameras, so that also hurts your trust factor. If you got a little rain and you're
confidence.
You know, you talked about going a mile in 23 seconds. Throw in 2 turns too, Rich. Rich?
Hey, maybe Rich might have been the guy who started the show off earlier. Or maybe I was committed to saying something really ominous about this track. And normally you guys jump in when I struggle, but you just laugh.
We wanted to help. we wanted to help you.
It sounded like you're in a quagmire.
I think so. How about J.R. Fitzpatrick in his qualifying effort? His first lap, just over 24 seconds. He picks it up on lap 2. 23.729 seconds.
Yeah, and that's a little bit faster than he qualified. So good job for JR going out there. First truck, you know, basically a racetrack that had to be dried with the jet dryers and to run a little bit faster than he practiced. Good job.
Yeah, you got to be. He has to feel real good about that. You know, the main thing is he's with a new team. He doesn't want to make a mistake. So this is a guy that can afford to make a mistake, and everybody's going to say he was going for it. If JR makes a mistake, they'll say, ooh, that wasn't too smart.
Yeah, that wasn't very smart.
So it's
rookie
2 different
mistake.
worlds. And this will be down around 23 flat. That truck looks like it's really fast coming to the green.
Fastest lap in practice in the second practice was Mike Skinner to 23.387.
You know, something I noticed when he came into turn number 1, it looks like that truck almost lifts up and then slams down into turn number 1.
And that's the way this track's always been, even before they reconfigured it, Rick. It's like a roller coaster. You jump off the hill. Ooh, he got pushing off turn 4 there.
Yeah, he had to chase it up the hill. That's not what he wanted to do. Let's see what it does on lap number 1. Still a pretty decent lap, 23.523.
Now look, he's adjusted his line. It pushed up when he exited the corner in turn 4, so he went in a little high, hoping to keep it more consistent through the corner. See what happens down in 4.
Chasing it again, yeah.
I think it gets a little bit loose in, but maybe pushes off.
Coming out for lap 2. Let's see if he picks it up.
fucking plowed.
Said it plowed a little bit, so he slowed down on lap number 2, 23.523 for Kyle Busch. He is the quickest of the two that have been on the racetrack. We expected a little bit better lap out of him, but obviously a little bit ill handling truck.
Well, you know, and when it looked like a little loose in, he's just trying to slam it down in the corner and get it to turn. So it wiggled in a little bit, but then the thing just really pushed off the turn.
Yeah, and remember, these trucks are going to be impounded, so qualifying is a compromise for all these trucks because they only are able to make minor adjustments to these things after qualifying. So, you know, in a perfect world, they probably would not have this set up in these trucks for qualifying.
Let's go back to the garage and TJ Bell while we watch Todd Bodine.
There we go. Now it's open. Let's talk to TJ. Tell me about practice yesterday. How was your truck here at Dover?
You know, our visit fit now in Toyota Tundra is pretty good. Small, minor things we need to change to make this thing really, really good. I really like this place. I like the concrete, and you know, we need to get some good luck on our side here and have a good run and hopefully be able to see a checkered flag.
How long did it take you to get over that big hit at Charlotte?
Once I knew Mike was okay, I was okay. You know, I'm just once again thankful for everything NASCAR and all the racetracks have done to keep us all safe, and especially, you know, my Red Horse Racing team to keep me safe inside this Toyota Tundra.
All right, go get them today. Remember, guys, Dover's another one of those tracks that can really be tough on equipment.
Todd Bodine faster on lap number 2, 23.477 is his quickest lap, so he is the fastest at Dover, Delaware. And next to come out, Timothy Peters, David Starr, and Kevin LePage.
I saw this ad on television. If you lose your job, they take your car back. I think that sounds like the worst day ever. At Saturn, we wouldn't do that. If you buy a new Saturn and lose your job, we'll make your payments for up to 9 months. We'll even help protect its value at trade-in time. It's all part of something we're calling Saturn Total Confidence. We've been doing right by people since day one. Learn more at SaturnConfidence.com. Get 0% APR for 60 months on most 09 vehicles.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car for my trip looks expensive.
It's not expensive, Mom.
They pick us up. Sounds expensive.
Pickup's free, Mom.
Well, if it's not expensive, why didn't you rent me a bigger car?
Mom.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
What's your pit type? Sweaty? Hairy? Sensitive? Introducing the first line of customized protection, New Speed Stick Pro. What's your pit type?
Can you work late this week?
Sure.
Okay.
No can do. No, Monday is seafood extravaganza. And Tuesday's Applewood Grill.
And Wednesday?
Hickory Bourbon Grill. All for about $10.
You got a lot on your plate.
I don't now, but I will.
Enjoy Golden Corral's 7-day dinner cruise featuring signature steak, seafood, and chicken. Help yourself to a different dinner theme every night. All on our endless buffet, all for around $10.
Oh, honey, do you have to work this weekend?
Oh, no way. Saturday's beef lovers night.
Golden Corral. Help yourself to happiness.
Speed presentation of NASCAR Camping World Truck Series qualifying from Dover is brought to you by Coors Light. Introducing the Coors Light 12-ounce cold activated can. The mountains turn blue. Your beer is as cold as the Rockies. Timothy Peters on the racetrack in that number 17 Toyota Tundra.
Little different look for Timothy. He's got has Strutmasters on board, strutmasters.com, but he's got a white front end on that 17 truck.
One of the things different that we can see from Timothy Peters is when he's going down the straightaway, both of the right front and left front are up off the racetrack as opposed to what we saw earlier.
Yeah, Kyle Busch has his left front down and the right front up. And Phil, this is a track that you can see the moisture there in the lens, and so these guys are dealing with that mentally. But this is a track where it's all about mechanical grip. These guys are mostly concerned, 99% concerned about the way the truck handles in the turn. They throw, even though they're running over probably 160 miles an hour on the straight, 170 maybe. They got, the turns are so tight, they got to have their trucks gripping. They got to almost throw the aero piece of it out.
Little question mark there in the voice. 23.756 was the fastest for Timothy Peters.
That was a little bit quicker than what Timothy ran in practice. So, I mean, anytime you can go out there and at least back up your practice speed, if not improve on it a little bit, you've done something.
Let's go back to Adam Alexander on pit road.
And Rick, for J.R. Fitzpatrick, the first guy on track with a new team at a facility you'd never seen before yesterday. How was it?
Yeah, I mean, never been here, and it's great to be here with KHI and the number 4 Chevy. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Lap 1 was pretty good, but I messed up in lap 2, but on 3 and 4. But we're just going to take what we can get, man. I mean, the trucks are obviously going to get faster now. They're going out after us, but we're just going to take what we can get.
Good luck today.
Thanks, man.
David Starr on the racetrack now. He's got autismspeaks.org on the hood.
Great tournament yesterday in Wilmington, Delaware, for the Autism Society of Delaware. Great turnout. A lot of money raised for that cause.
Artie Kepner, so much passion for his tournament and for autism awareness, and I just really appreciate, as you do as well. I know Phil, got Rick being a part of that tournament. It's just a good time, and it's well attended by the NASCAR community,
as well as all the other community. I mean, we've got the hockey players, and Bernie Perrant, the great goalie from the Flyers, was there, and David Akers, the kicker from the Eagles, was there. And
Garo Upremium, a name that I just, when I was a kid, remember watching him kick those field goals. I got to talk to him a little bit.
I remember him when he played for Detroit before he went to Miami.
Oh, wow.
David Starr, third quickest in his qualifying effort, 23.689. Let's go back down to Ray Dunlap.
Good recovery. Let's hear from Colin Brown. Have you gotten a voodoo doll or a lucky rabbit's foot or anything to try to turn this thing around for the 6 bunch?
I maybe need to. I don't know exactly what I'm going to need to do, but we need some kind of luck because we've certainly been struggling with that this year. But it's not for lack of effort. These guys on this number 6 Conway Freight Ford F-150 have been working extremely hard, and I hope their work pays off here one of these days for them.
I hope so too. Colin Brown getting in his 6 truck, ready to roll out. Let's go back to the other end with Adam.
And Todd Bodine, the guy everyone's chasing right now, Ray. Pretty solid lap. Did you get all of it?
Well, I told Ray before, I was lifting just a little tiny bit in practice, just a little, not all the way, just a little bit. The first lap we went through 1 and 2 without lifting. And I tried it going into 3, and it went down in there and turned sideways, so I had to get off the gas. So the first lap was the same as second lap. Otherwise, it'd been a lot faster. But that was good laps. I'll take it.
He's quickest right now.
23.47, the mark that they're shooting for. Kevin LePage on the racetrack for his qualifying effort. 24.826 on lap number 1 for Kevin.
Kevin's, I think, just going to do one and done here, so he will take that first lap.
6 quickest for Kevin LePage. Again, everyone chasing Todd Bodine. Mike Skinner, always good at qualifying. He's climbing into his truck, getting ready for his qualifying effort.
It's the perfect storm of danger and speed. Don't miss the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series in Speed HD. From Dover, tonight, 8 Eastern. NASCAR on Speed. Be there.
For NASCAR drivers, blocking is a way to stay ahead, lap after lap. For me, blocking is how I stay ahead of heartburn, all day and all night. Prilosec OTC blocks heartburn before it begins, so I can enjoy the tailgating foods I love on race day. Try Prilosec OTC, the round-the-clock heartburn blocker.
Stop.
I had always tinkered with automobiles.
It was addicting. Want to work on cars? This is the best way to do it.
WildTech is the real deal.
They teach it all to you right there.
It's like going to school for a hobby.
You're learning something that you're going to use.
Preparing you for the outside world.
Life's looking good right now.
My school's WildTech.
Get on the fast track to a career. Train with WildTech. Even if you don't have a high school diploma or a GED, we may have a program that can help you. Get on the fast track to a career. Train with WildTech
at 1-800-515-9734.
Comcast wants to know what you really want out of your home phone service.
I want to catch up with my sister in Montana without watching the clock.
You want it, you got it. Talk as long as you like with unlimited nationwide calling.
I want to be able to check my voicemail on my computer.
You want it, you got it. Check voicemail anywhere online with Comcast Smart Zone. Call now to get Comcast Digital Voice for the low price of just $24.99 a month for 12 months.
Qualifying continuing from the Monster Mile. We see Tiwi.com on the hood of the 07 of Chad McCumbee today. Actually, we were talking a little bit about that golf tournament. I played with this team, the guys from Tiwi. What an unbelievable concept this is as far as safety for young drivers, and we go into it in further depth in the setup this evening, so make sure to tune in for that. But a great concept, a great idea.
Hey, great first lap for Chad McCumbee, 23.591. If he can pick up a little bit over a tenth, he may be able to knock Todd off the pole.
Did you hear that gas, right? I never varied, I don't think. I believe he was able to leave his foot on the floor all the way around that third and fourth turn.
A little wiggle up off of 4, and he does do it.
Out of the gas. Yeah, sure enough, he gets out of the gas, decides that one lap's going to be enough. 23.469 for Chad McCumbee.
He does knock Todd off the pole. Did you hear that?
That's all I had, dude.
He said, that's all I had, dude.
That was impressive. So
yeah.
Chad McCumbee jumps to the top of the board, 23.469 for McCumbee.
You got to believe that that he committed himself to say on that second lap, I believe I can hold it down, because that truck looked right coming through 3 and 4.
Let's go back down to Ray Dunlap.
Well, thank you, guys. Mike Skinner has climbed into the number 5 truck, and yesterday, Mike, in mock qualifying runs a 23:38. What do you think it's going to take today?
Probably at least that. You know, there's a lot of moisture coming out of the air right now. I would think the racetrack could have a lot of grip in it, but we'll see here in just a little bit.
Todd said he wiggled a little bit and had to back out just a little bit. Any concerns from the driver's standpoint when the weather is a little misty like this?
Whenever I qualify, whether it's great weather or bad weather, it scares the heck out of me.
And the hammer is always down when Mike Skinner is behind the wheel. Guys?
Mike's only got about 912 poles in this series.
He starts up front about, every other race.
Sure seems like it.
Oh, Johnny Chapman has to catch it in the 21.
Stock car steel on board the side of that truck.
It's a good-looking truck. You can see the difference in the nose of that one. It's right down on the ground. We've seen other trucks with their noses all hiked up. Just different philosophies, different ways to try to make your truck go faster on this mile track.
Let's take a look at this big wiggle over here in 3 and 4. You see Johnny gets down in the corner. You see the back of that truck bouncing a little bit, and then he gets a little bit sideways, has to chase it up the hill. Does a nice job corralling that thing.
Good looking truck.
Let's head back down to pit road and Adam Alexander.
When David Starr climbed from his truck, you said you got greedy. Tell us what happened, David.
Well, I got pretty greedy out there on the first lap. Getting into 3, I drove it way down in there and had to use the little brakes, and ended up losing the rear of the truck. Got loose on me, so wasn't a very good lap the first one, but I was able to recover on the second lap and ran a 23:69. Yesterday, I think we ran a 23:65. So we're happy with that, but a little weird going down the back straightaway. There's so much moisture in there, you think it's raining, but I'll tell you, our Zachary Toyota Tundra was pretty awesome in practice yesterday. We were really excited about the race tonight, and I think the fans will see a great race. It's always exciting here at Dover, and we look forward to getting it started.
Tough conditions for the drivers out of the gate today, Ray.
And we've got Samson Instinct back on the number 15 this week. Brian Eichler behind the wheel. And as a rookie, you come to a lot of new tracks you haven't seen before. Your impressions of Dover, Delaware?
I like Dover. I mean, concrete, high banked. We were pretty good in practice yesterday. Struggled a little bit in the second practice, started to get a little tight on us, but we made some pretty big changes, so hopefully we'll qualify all right here.
Okay, go get them. And guys, whenever we go to Texas for our next race, there will be a different driver behind the wheel of this 15. It'll be Eric Almirola.
TJ Bell comes off the racetrack. He's 5th quick. Of the 9 that have been on the racetrack, his second lap a little quicker, 23.691. Jason White, Colin Brown, and Mike Skinner will be on the racetrack when we return to qualifying for the AAA Insurance 200.
Sunday, NASCAR Race Day drives into Dover. Find out if a new crew chief will get Junior back on track. NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. Live Sunday, 11:30 Eastern. NASCAR on speed. Be there.
The way I see it, all synthetic oils are the same.
Think with your dipstick, Jimmy! Aren't all synthetic oils the same? Think with your dipstick, Jimmy!
Synthetics or synthetics?
Castrol Edge. I'm gonna try this.
Oh, no, that's thinking with your dipstick!
So why did you hit me?
Because you were thinking with your dipstick, Jimmy!
Think with your dipstick. Upgrade to new Castrol Edge with 8 times better wear protection than Mobile One 5W30. It's more than just oil. It's liquid engineering. Stop.
My first car was a 64 Thunderbird. It was terrible, and I was in love with it. Biotech, I needed to be there. They know exactly what they're talking about because they've done it themselves. You know you're learning something that you're gonna use. You have a lot of hands-on. In engines class, you take it all the way apart, and then you put it all the way back together, and then you run it, and it's loud. I love working on cars. It's fulfilling. My name is Teresa. My school is Biotech.
Get on the fast track to a career. Train with Wyotech
at 1-800-515-9734.
Comcast wants to know what you really want out of your home phone service.
I want to catch up with my sister in Montana without watching the clock.
You want it, you got it. Talk as long as you like with unlimited nationwide calling.
I want to be able to check my voicemail on my computer.
You want it, you got it. Check voicemail anywhere online with Comcast Smart Zone. Call now to get Comcast Digital Voice for the low price of just $24.99 a month for 12 months.
Stories and laughs as the boys from Trackside welcome fan favorites Tony Stewart and Mark Martin to the speed stage. Get the latest from 2 of NASCAR's finest, as well as crew chief Alan Gustafson, who will stop by to tell us what it's like to work with Mark the Kid Martin. Trackside from Dover tonight. That's 7 Eastern.
Hey, what a couple compelling stories in our sport this year with Mark Martin. What a resurgence his career has had. You know, I heard the other day that, he's won 2 races this year. Jason White with a good first lap.
Wow.
23.673. That will slot him in 4th. But Mark, this is the first time since 1999 that Mark Martin has won more than 1 race in a season.
I read that, and we were at the NASCAR meeting the other day talking about where we're at as a sport and how much fun it is to be able to race these cars and how much we enjoy doing it. And Mark was telling a story about, he said, I came to Martinsville to race this car, my cup car, for the first time in 1981. That's the year I graduated from high school, and I thought I'd been doing this a long time. He raced in 1981, finished Martinsville in 3rd spot, 2 laps down. That was sort of normal for back in the day. Now if you're 2 laps down at Martinsville, you're going to finish 33rd. That tells you how competitive things are.
Dale Jr. finished 2 laps down at Charlotte Lowe's Motor Speedway, and he finished 40th just last week.
That tells you, it's hard to pass because everybody's so doggone good. If we could put a bunch of drones out there, we could drive around them all day long, but you just don't have that at the Cup level.
Speaking of good, Colin Brown just took away the top spot from Chad McCumbee, who's standing by with Adam Alexander.
Bad timing.
And we were just talking about the fact that Chad started on the outside pole a number of times. Unfortunately, no pole today, but with a new sponsor, and that time you got to be pleased.
Yeah, I tell you what, God is on time. God, we weren't supposed to race this weekend, and I got to thank people from TWE and NTHINK for coming on board with us. It's pretty special to be here, and they have that good a qualifying run. I tell you what, we had a little problem in practice and broke a motor mount and missed a lot of the first practice, some of the second ones, and this SS Greenlight team is doing such a great job. I mean, this is the first time this thing's seen the racetrack this year, and unloaded good. We're unloading good every week, and hopefully we can get that first win here real shortly. Got some good racetracks coming up. Weren't sure we were going to have the speed in this thing qualifying, but man, that was all we had, and that was a lot better than I thought it would be. So, like I said, just thank TWE for coming on board this week. Really big course, and hopefully we'll have another few good weeks here.
Trying to join Scott Speed and a couple others as first-time winners here at Dover.
Mike Skinner on the racetrack.
Whoa!
Wow.
Man,
hands full coming out of turn 2.
I heard the tires squealing off that truck.
Listen, Phil, I thought at first.
He's chasing it again,
it's loose, and that's going to mess him up. I thought at first that was the 15 truck of Brian Eichler because I just glanced and I was listening to McCumbee, and I watched him come to the green flag, and I thought, darn, Brian likes that truck. He's on it. But as he came by the start-finish line, it was Mike Skinner, and he had a pole run going into 1, I guarantee you. And he dove down in there, and it just wouldn't stick.
Still had a pretty good lap considering how out of shape that truck was. And he said, 1 is all I can hold my breath for this qualifying session.
Terribly loose. Heck yeah, Mike, we're with you. Watch this.
This is out of 2. That thing is sideways. You could see the tire tracks that were sliding so much.
And there's nowhere to hide here, too. You get loose coming off turn 2, and that thing gets around on you. You're going to hit the outside and the inside wall more than likely.
And it doesn't have to get much more sideways than that for it to go all to pieces in a hurry.
Well, Mike Skinner mentioned before he went out on the racetrack that he holds his breath and a little nervous about that qualifying. He had his hands full in that qualifying effort. We'll be right back.
Here's Ryan getting ready to make his approach. To the men's room.
Looks like he needs to go urgently.
True. And there's Casey about to drive, also to the men's room.
He has been going over and over.
Now Wilson, third time today, says he's going a lot at night, too.
Yes, I'm afraid he thinks it's par for the course.
They ought to see their doctors.
Could be male urinary symptoms due to BPH and enlarged prostate.
For many guys, prescription Flomax reduces their urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week.
1 week?
Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not a more serious condition like prostate cancer.
Avoid driving or hazardous tasks for 12 hours after your first dose or increase in dose, as a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting.
If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax. Common side effects are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen.
Ask your doctor if Flomax is right for you.
And call 877-4FLOMAX to see if you qualify for up to $40 off new or refill prescriptions.
For many men, Flomax can make a difference in 1 week.
Papa's in the house.
Papa's got something for every taste. The meats, loaded with 5 real meats. Or our Tuscan 6 cheese. Your choice. Just $10.99 each for a large. That's right. Your choice. Only $10.99 each.
I'm comfortable going fast. I'm comfortable in Wrangler.
Wrangler Jeans Company. Great comfort, priced right. Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans.
Nobody has to tell you these are tough times. That's why it's a good time to get back under the hood, to keep that car running longer, and do everything you can to make sure a small job doesn't turn into a costly one. And AutoZone is here to help every step of the way. We're the one place you'll find the expertise, tools, and advice you can trust to help you do the job right the first time. Because do it yourself doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Tonight marks the 10th time the Truck Series has raced at Dover, and we've never had a repeat winner. Well, you think you know who's going to win? Well, there is only one place to find out, right here on Speed. It all starts with Chris DeVoe and the setup at 8 o'clock tonight, so make sure you join us. Camping World Truck Series tonight at 8. Here's Johnny Sauter in the Fun Sand Chevy Silverado.
Second fastest on lap 1. Can he pick it up? The truck looks really good. Slows down about
just picked up a little bit, about 7 1/1000ths of a second, but they did not move him up above the second position.
Second quick for Johnny Sauter. Let's go back to Ray Dunlap.
And let's hear from Ron Hornaday real quick. How's the VFW Chevrolet yesterday in practice, Ron?
It was real good. And first of all, I got to thank all the troops and everything, especially my nephew over there, with everything they're doing for us. And Chris Jennings, thanks for what you guys do. But it's pretty good. Just kind of nervous. These guys are running fast. I don't know if I can hold it wide open like they did.
Hornaday was at the top of the list yesterday, but on the top right now, that's 6 truck, and I believe Adam is caught up with Colin Brown.
And Colin having a debrief session with his crew chief, Mike Beam. A lighthearted debrief session, I guess. It's easy when you're on the pole, right?
Yeah, you know, it's a good thing. I don't know if it'll hold up or not, but I know that, you know, I certainly thought I gave it as much as I could, you know. Of course, there's always...
Your voice is still shaking.
Well, it was a fun lap, that's for sure. But these guys did a great job, you know. Obviously, we had a good truck in Charlotte, and we're, you know, I don't know if we would have won that race, but we certainly had a good truck. So it's cool to see the shop and all these guys' work kind of paying off. You know, we're getting good fast trucks. We bring really fast trucks to the racetrack. So it's neat to see that, and I hope these guys take pride in all the work they do.
When you were as close as you were a couple of weeks ago, how hungry does that make you this weekend?
Oh, certainly a lot. You know, I think, you know, not only me, but all these guys on the pit crew, I know we're going to have some great stops today. These guys have been working extremely hard. Everybody kind of sees that, man, we're there, we can almost do this, we're closing in on it, and I think that just makes you work that a little bit extra hard.
Colin Brown quickest. Johnny Benson just wrapped up on the racetrack as well, guys.
Yep, 4th quickest. His first lap was his fastest, but
pretty inconsistent.
That was only by 1 1/1000th of a second. The difference between lap 1 and 2.
The last 2 trucks have been able to run pretty much the same both laps, and that tells you that they're getting about all they got out of them, Phil.
Yeah, and wide open is wide open, pretty much.
Okay, now this is...
You had mentioned Brian Eichler earlier. You thought he was on the track. He is now.
And he came to came to the green flag like a normal man would.
A little more respectable.
Yeah, Skinner came to it like he's won 30, 40, 50-something poles.
Brian Eichler is teammates here to Kyle Busch at Iowa a couple weeks ago. They ran the Camping World East and West combination event, and